session of the Journey of the Bone Collectors. This is a shorter intro since we were missing two players, Scritch and Jack. But Jack will be with us in a little bit. Scritch is on vacation, so bear with me. I will not try to roleplay as much as him, but I might have to in certain circumstances.
We're going to ask Scritch all the questions tonight.
Of course you will. So yes, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate your time, and so does the Round Stump members here, and Retsu and Carnes, and we'll get started. Carnes actually will start us off with his intro. Go for it.
Hello, I am Carnes in the Round Stump Discord, lurk hereof literally everywhere else on the internet. I am the archivist for this, so people who are watching my stream, go over to Kuuretsu. That's where we have the community for this, because I'm more focused on just making sure we have a backup. I have been very bad about that lately, just because I've been busy, but I am working on it and getting some of the newer episodes up. For the campaign, I play Bashir, the tiny little kobold ranger. I think I'm currently asleep, so that'll be fun to roleplay for a bit.
Snore.
Yeah.
Snore. Are we gonna get tiny kobold snoring sounds?
Would it be snoring, or I voice him like a Khajiit, so would it be purring?
Yeah,
you're doing all sorts of stuff. You're sleeping hard, like you're tossing, turning, but you're sleeping like a baby.
I think I posted an image of like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch sleeping. I just like the idea.
Up.
Yeah,
like a little cat.
But that's pretty much it for me here. I mean, that's all I do.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Carnes. Much appreciated. Next we have Rubik.
Yes, I am Rubik, the dwarf paladin, and just on time after he got some soup.
Delicious soup. What kind of soup?
It's baked potato soup.
Delicious. Keep going. I'm sorry, Rubik.
And I am also a barbarian and a paladin, if that wasn't mentioned, and a dwarf. And I'm the leader of this goon squad, and we're the heroes of this story. And I swear we're the good guys, and we've been working on it together, and we're going on a boat, and I'm a dwarf.
I'm a dwarf.
Thank you very much for that, Rubik. Rubik the dwarf. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Retsu, please tell everybody a little bit about your character and yourself.
Yes. Well, the uninteresting part of me is that I'm Kuuretsu. I have a dog named Henry, who's the interesting part of me. And I play Rask, the lizard folk fighter, cleric, motherly figure. I don't know. He likes to try and herd people around, but it doesn't usually work because he has difficulty expressing himself. He doesn't speak common super well. He's getting better at it. But yeah, you get to hear me play someone who struggles with English, basically, which is not that far off. And that's it.
Thank you very much for that, Retsu. It is tough. It's like you're like a single dad with 5 kids, so.
And these kids are absolutely not cooperating, and they're older than me, which is true. All of them are older than him. It's fine.
Thank you very much for that, Retsu. Next we have Runark.
Hello, I am Runark, and I play Ivan Lionheart in the campaign. I am a human alchemist artificer. I like to concoct elemental bombs and alchemical items and use them from typically the back line. At the moment, I'm still in the tavern, sitting in the chair upstairs, waiting to talk to my cousin. Not looking forward to talking to Edwin. I know he has a proposition for me, and I'm not necessarily looking forward to hearing it, so we'll see how that goes today.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
He just wants to catch up. He's your cousin. So
I'm sure he came all this way. He spent all this money to come find me.
Totally. You're a good guy. So any of your group would say that stick up for you. They'd say you're a good guy, worth it. So with that, thank you for the introductions. Bone Collectors. We'll now get started. When Jack gets back, we'll have him do a quick intro and then get right back into it, since his intros are almost always quick. So that one time he actually sang the whole, I think, what was it, the Genie in the Bottle song by Britney Spears, was it?
Christina Aguilera.
What was it? I don't remember. But he sang the whole song for his intro, and it was fantastic. So
Was
I
amazing.
was not here for this, was I?
no, it was a shorter session. There wasn't as many players, so we were just kind of winging it and trying to fill in more time. He put on
Okay.
quite a show, though.
All right.
But all serious now, we will get started. Everybody roll a flat roll for initiative. Actually, I like saying it like that. That sounds good.
Hey.
Yeah. I have the lowest with a 2, but not a 1.
Right, and Bashir actually got a 3 this time.
I'll get back to it.
So that makes it
Rubik's like, I finally beat Bashir. Yeah, Ivan, yep. I actually thought it was Rubik for a second, but it's actually Ivan.
Big surprise. Oh.
Big surprise.
We start off in the tavern, and I'm still facing off with the men at the top of the stairs on the second level there. No, the captain downstairs, he broke like a branch, and he began to transform. He began to like almost like pulse. It kind of reminds me of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of a thing. Jack basically like lashes out a lightning leash, I think, or something like that, and he pulls him over the half wall, and he starts just bashing on him. Rask runs over to help Jack, and Scritch is hella confused about casting healing word. I remember he was so indecisive. He's like, I'm gonna wait. No. Bashir puts the boy in the captain's room because it only has one way out, and it's away from Dev. Obviously, he just didn't want him anywhere near Dev because they're in a little bit of a feud, I'll say. Rubik then begins to talk with Godfrey. He's catching up with him. The orc from the Silver Scales asks Rubik for his kill count, and Rubik's just like, I don't know. I don't keep count. I kill so many, it'd be too tough for me to keep count. And the orc tells him that he's at 72. Rubik says those are rookie numbers and walks off, asking Godfrey to watch things. He runs into town and comes across the tavern and finds a guy outside of the window, like he's coming down. And Rubik like gets underneath him and like Eldritch blasts him into the sky, and then he just like falls back down and just like splats, and he's dead at that point. And then he's just like, okay, my job's done, and just begins to walk off. And everybody's just like, wait, aren't you with the guys inside? And Rubik's like, yeah, they got it. They're fine. I got things to do. And he's on his way to the postmaster. Where was I? Bashir, he talks to Dev and tries his hardest, and Dev tries his hardest to talk his way out and says that the boy is delusional. He can summon some sort of magical weapons, and he's dead. So we never know what to believe with what he's saying. So obviously we have to kind of do more research into it. So Bashir walks off with Julia. I think it's Julia. They go off into another room, and she basically, I think she confirms basically what Dev was saying about the boy. Is that correct? I think so. That is one thing I actually didn't write. I think I went to get a drink of water, but I didn't write that section down. They leave, and Bashir runs back to the boy. We come back to the tavern, and the woman that I had lit on fire at one point, she pushes the one-legged guy down the stairs. He falls down the stairs all the way down across the hallway there, and like breaks his neck on the stage. MVP right there. She was great.
She's still probably incredibly terrified.
She ran out of the tavern, and hopefully I never have to see her again.
I think
that is one thing. That is one thing Ivan would love, if he never has to see that woman ever again.
Well, I've cut 10 years in the future. You're married.
Ooh.
Bashir is going to the kitchen, and Nab is watching. They begin to question the boy. The boy just... Hold on, I gotta scroll over. The boy just finished in the fields. He got down to the river and he saw Dev crossing the bridge. They saw each other but didn't do anything. He coughed up blood after saying Dev's name, like he usually does. Marco tries to sense into the kid, like it's a normal thing. Yeah, he just coughed up blood after saying Dev's name. Marco tries to talk some sense into him, saying we're not going to hurt him. Bashir asks Marco to send for Godfrey and asks Nab to leave the room. Bashir asks for the boy's name, but he can't tell us. He wants him to write it down. He's like, I've gone over all this stuff. I can't tell you. There's no way I can tell you. Godfrey bursts in and Bashir asks him to try to remove the curse. He says it'll take much time and research. Godfrey says he made a pact in order to gain power, but it could also potentially be part of Dev's fault. Like he said, he'd have to do more research on it. Bashir heads back to the bunk room and passes the fuck out. Rubik is going back to the postmasters, but he was AFK.
But he was AFK.
Yeah. He gets.
It was probably for more soup.
Two different messengers from two different countries come in. He asks to send some letters to Grieven, and the others are getting impatient. They're from the 8 Gems. Message from Harrowhelm to the Wardens, and the other one is from Delmont, which is under attack by invading rodents. Rubik inspires the messenger to Grieven and Delmont, and he takes Rubik's message to Grieven for him. Ivan, we come back to the tavern. Ivan kills one and chases down and freezes another to the floor. The demon attacks Scritch and Jack, but Jack and Rask have Sentinel, and he loses an arm. I could have just stopped it. He has Sentinel.
Yeah, that's right there. Just saying that they both have Sentinel is a game over. Yeah.
They finish him off quite easily, and Rask fits through the tiny door, and Scritch follows. Jack and Scritch come upstairs and pass me and open other doors. They find a woman who's in there, and they basically have to go find the rest of the people if there's anybody else in the house. And I leaned out the window to basically see if anybody's out there. And at first, people were like, "Oh my God, it's another bandit! Get him!" And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And then Edwin's like, "No, that's my cousin. Cousin, how you doing?" And blah blah blah. And it's like, "Oh, I got stuff in here. I gotta go." So I kind of like poked my head back in, and then I kind of sat down in the chair.
Where you're kind of napping at this point with Junkie.
When the last time we slept, like, I know it hasn't been a long time in game, but session wise, like, we haven't slept once since we've been at this town.
Almost, yeah, no.
So we haven't slept since we were at the last place, Warrenheim.
Yeah, Warrenheim. Well, yeah. You're still in the province of Warrenheim,
but the fort.
Carax.
Fort Carax, that's what it was. Yeah, we haven't slept since we were there.
Mm-hmm. No, you guys are very sleepy.
I know it really
has. That was a battle
long,
too. You guys just got done fighting at that too, so you guys are all pretty tired.
Ivan's tired. Ivan's real beat. But yeah, I think that's everything we did.
That is
100%
exactly everything that we did.
And Rask fits barely. I just like
turned around and went back out.
I love that part. You just like looked. It looked like it's almost like a kid in like one of those like little tunnels like at the play place, and it's just so small and claustrophobic that you're like, nope, going back, turning around. And you just look at the other kid. You're like, no, go back, kid. Like turn around, kid. Jack's like, oh, come on. It was funny. That was really good though. I enjoyed that very much. But yeah, you guys did an awesome job last session, and let's get into this one. So Ivan, you are now sitting in the chair. You are tired, exhausted. You actually still have a level of exhaustion, and you're feeling like you're about to take a second level pretty soon. Junkie is just standing in the doorway. He's kind of looking around back and forth, making little noises as you can hear Scritch and Jack talking back and forth. Mostly Scritch, shouting down the hallway almost as if he was right next to you.
Junkie, we have so much more to do. We still have to leave. We gotta talk to everybody. And I'm just gonna like very slowly get up from the chair, and I'll walk over towards the door and just like poke my head out to look down towards where Scritch and Jack would be. Not necessarily seeing him out there, but I know they went that way, so I'll follow. I'll go their direction as well.
Okay.
I'll begin to walk down the hallway.
Okay. Junkie's following you slowly, and as you get down the hallway, you can see it's actually kind of trash. There's cups and trays everywhere. It looks like there's pillows ripped open, and and clothing here and there, and a little bit of blood. You can see there's some violence done. As you get towards the door where Scritch and Jack are, you can hear them talking to a woman. She seems quite happy now, but you can tell she was hiding in here for the most part. But you see nobody else but her.
All right. Well, if she already seems like she's calming down a little bit, I'm not going to try to disturb that. I'll move on to another room and
Okay.
check that out. I mean, I guess I would have checked here first because I didn't know that they would have been here.
Okay. So you go there first.
Yeah.
You look in there and you see that there's actually nothing but what looks to be manacles and they're a key and still shoved in the keyhole itself. It looks like they were undone and it looks like they released somebody.
I pick them up. Are they working?
Oh yeah, they're a working pair. They're very rusty and quite old, but they work.
I'll take them.
All right, you take the working set of manacles, iron manacles with one key.
All right. After picking that up, I'll turn back around and look at Junkie and, hey, I actually got something that wasn't too bad. And I will begin to walk down the hallway and start checking out some of the other doors.
All right. Whoopsie. You saw too much of that other room. Now I gotta take your eyes. No, I'm just kidding. So, you get to the next room and you see it's completely empty. It actually looks very clean and untouched, like no one was even in there.
All right, I'm not gonna look too far into it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna head back, or I'll head across the hall to the room right behind me then.
Again, another empty room, unoccupied or untouched.
Oh, it doesn't seem to be much up here, Junkie. How many more do you think we have left? I think there's 2. I think we might have missed one down near the hallway. More. I will go check out this one.
And here we have Ivan speaking to himself because he also plays Junkie.
Damn right. Meep Morp.
All right, you get to this room and you can actually see that all the beds look like they've been used and slept in. There's food everywhere. It just looks like a hurricane hit this room. Like it's just a disaster. There's actually broken furniture.
Okay, so it looks like there was a fight here, not necessarily just messy people.
Or just messy people. They are pirates and bandits, so they don't seem to care about anything. You can tell it looks like they were here for a while, like they were staying here for a little bit, up here in this room at least. Maybe scouting things out. It smells horrible, and you actually see a small chest in the corner that actually has quite a bit of silver bars.
Oh yeah,
I
was going in here to investigate anyway.
Okay.
So
you notice that quite often though.
As I do, I'll kind of like put my part of my shirt up over my nose, just kind of block some of the smell.
Okay.
Investigation.
Yes.
Like if I actually want to look under things.
Yep.
Do we just find like an actual chamber pot just in the middle of there?
Oh, natural one.
Yeah. Speaking of that, actually, as you're looking around, you actually, as you're digging around through things, your hand goes right into one of the chamber pots that looks like it's been overflown and quite.
Ivan really holds himself from throwing up, and he promptly exits the room.
Okay. You actually do see a wash bucket near the door.
I use prestidigitation and clean my own hand. I don't want to use anything.
All right. You kind of exit the room and
I just kind of I'll exit the room and I'll shut the door. And I'll kind of just like put my back up against it and just look at my hand as I clean it. And oh God. And I just trying to stop myself from throwing up at this point.
Junkie's just gonna walk up and touch your hand as you're looking at it in disgust.
Meet more. Oh my God, Junkie! I can't believe it. Oh God, I can't believe I just touched that. But I saw a chest in there. Oh, I think I want it. Maybe. Oh my God, maybe Jack can get it. He can't smell any of that. I'll send Jack in there. That's for sure. I'm just gonna move on.
Okay.
Fuck that room.
All right. So you're gonna move on to the next room. We will actually go down to Rask, who is downstairs in the stable still. next to Matilda, the riding hog, the riding pig, the boar, I should say. And you're just about to open the door, as I remember, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You open the door, and obviously you see a crowd of people. It almost looks like half the town is here itself. You also see that there is a bit of a militia of the warden there as well.
He's still large at this point, also.
Oh, then I will make your token large. Hold on one second. It might look a little.
It's okay.
Okay. I'll just put the. How long do you remember when you had that up for? 1 minute.
It's for 1 minute, and I literally changed before he died.
Okay, so I'll say you still have about 45 seconds left.
Yeah.
So you're walking out, and you're very large and very, very covered in blood, and even some burning and scarring from that the purple ooze that got on you from the demon, or the devil, I should say. And when you do, you actually see Matilda's just following you with her little tail wagging, and as she's just kind of rubbing up on your leg, trying to get more pets from you.
I guess Rask is gonna keep petting her.
Okay.
He kind of looks around at the townspeople and says, "Hello."
Roll a persuasion check with that.
Oh God. It's a 27.
Wow. Okay. You see that the town goes nuts. They start screaming and shouting for joy and cheering you. The bone collectors have saved us! The warden and the bone collectors together! And they start shouting and chanting you. The bone collectors, as you kind of hear them almost worshiping you as you're leaving that little stable with the war pig. And you see a couple of wardens step forward towards you, and they're just soldiers, it looks like, as the more of the generals are actually, or the more officers are actually kind of standing more towards the back of the crowd. And they reach over to you. My lord, are you all right? Is everything okay? Or do you need attendance to your wounds?
I am fine, but Rask should speak with someone of rank.
Of course. You see a halfling step forward, and it seems to be that same halfling that had a thing for, for Vree. And he walks over to you, and he remembers you, and he says, "My lord, it is good to see you again."
Orc Chaser.
That is I. He takes off his hat, not as big as Scritch's, obviously, and he's going to take it off and bow very politely to you, very respectfully. I see that you've taken care of another rodent problem for us, as he looks over towards all the dead bodies as the door is still kind of open.
Rask is gonna crouch down and kind of gesture for him to come closer. We should go inside. There is something you should probably see.
And he's going to wave some soldiers over with him as well. Let us have a look-see.
And Rask is gonna take him over to the devil's corpse.
Okay. As you're walking away, just roll me an animal handling check real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Matilda handling check.
Matilda handling check, please. Oh, that's an 11.
11? Okay. You see that she still follows you. She's not wagging her tail, but she's just following you. She doesn't seem to really know where else to go, and the crowd is kind of scaring her. So she kind of goes back into the barn with you, and scurries past you as you see most of the wardens start filling in, and there's about 8 of them now as they're filling into the barn itself. Starting to investigate the bodies. They're looking through all of their belongings. You hear them kind of talking and cheering. Yes, look at this one. This one had an axe, a very well-made axe. And yes, you can keep that, Cedric. As they're very happy for each other. You can see that these wardens don't see action as much, but this was a big victory for them. This was a huge victory for them, big morale boost. And obviously having the bone collectors here to help them was a huge boost, because who knows what would have happened if you guys had not been there.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're standing there, they're investigating the bodies. The young halfling captain, kind of eager to show his wit and his rank as he walks around the corner and he sees the dead devil kind of oozing and dissolving away, he kind of steps back in shock. What is that thing?
This is a barbed devil.
What sort of a devil, you say? How does a creature of this sort come to our village and not be known?
It was just not disguised. One of the captains broke an item, a branch of some sort, and transformed. Raskus just like
thinking of
struggling.
words.
Like words.
Ah, I see. This will have to be documented. Thank you. And he's going to pull out some parchment and paper, and he's going to start writing a lot of what you're saying down, so he doesn't forget it himself. And this just all happened moments ago. We heard the ruckus outside. We just did not wish to enter and alarm any of you and get brought up into the combat. There are rumors of the bone collectors, you see.
Rumors? How?
Our captain said that not to intervene in case we also get it hurt or in the way. He knew that you bone collectors have a certain way of getting things done.
Ras kind of tilts his head as the only time he's fought with anyone other than the bone collectors has been at the Ember Citadel, and he's just like, they didn't get in the way. He looks very confused.
And he looks at you nervously as you're huge.
I guess
and,
I don't know how long this has been, like, the short conversation, but like...
Yeah, I guess this would be the time where you actually shrink.
Yeah.
And then he sees that you're normal size now. Oh, there you are. I thought I remember you being that size, not the other way around.
Rask.
You're all sorts of tricks, aren't you?
Rask actually takes a slight offense to that, and he kind of bares his teeth. Not tricks.
No, not tricks. You have many skills. And he's very nervous as he wipes the sweat from his forehead. Oh, right. I think I got all the notes I needed. I'll go inspect further into the tavern here and get the notes from the owners and go from there. Thank you very much, Lord. Your name was, as he's going to write it down.
Rask.
Rask. Thank you, Lord Rask. I shall not forget your name.
Talk with bartender?
Yes.
About damages.
I will get their notice right away.
Also, Phoenix is here.
Phoenix is here. We will end on your turn. Phoenix, welcome. Glad you're back.
Yeah, sorry. Amy and I had to pick up stuff for the wedding, so.
No worries. If you wouldn't mind giving a quick intro to everybody who's listening really quick, and then we can get back into it.
I'm Jack. Well, I'm Eric. I play Jack. He's a Warforged paladin dipping into sorcerer. Usually carries around Scritch, and that's about it.
That's about it, he says. Well, thank you very much.
Hit stuff with a big war. What is it? War
axe.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it.
It's for war at least, but thank you for that, Phoenix. Much appreciated. So far we've only started with Ivan, and we just ended on Rask's turn. Next up, we will actually go to Rubik.
Yep.
And Rubik, you were heading back to the ship, correct? Or you were on your way back through the ship? You're kind of on your way back through the slippery, or heading your way down the road?
I was just passing by like the inn again on the way back to the ship.
Correct. So, as you do so, the crowd of people are starting to disperse now as they see that the combat's over and it's kind of all said and done. But you heard chanting, and you actually heard the Bone Collector's name being chanted. And as the people see you, they all start walking up to you and thanking you. Thank you, my lord. Thank you. And before you realize it, you in your hands, you actually have it looks to be a blanket of sheep's wool, a nice hooded lantern, and a box of chocolates as gifts as people walk past you.
He just sure. Oh yes, the bone collectors were pretty great.
Thank you so much, my lord. And another guy like kind of bows to you as you walk past, and eventually you see a lot of the members of the warden kind of sitting there. You see the new leader of the warden, who's now in charge since Julia stepped down, and you see that he looks to you and he says, Lord Rubik, your bone collectors have honored us yet again in saving our village. We owe you a great debt.
The bone collectors accept your debt and will take it into consideration.
Well, thank you, my lord. When will you be leaving? I wish to give you your gift before you do go. So we must decide quickly, I assume.
Well, look at the sun. What time does it appear to be?
Roll me a survival check real quick.
Survival. Oh boy. Nice. $13.
Okay, you can tell it's a little over 9 o'clock now at this point, so it's pretty late it's like mid morning now at this point.
Okay.
All
right.
But yeah, all the warden are kind of eagerly waiting to hear what you have to say.
Certainly, gifts are always nice, but perhaps you could go down to the local blacksmith and give him some business. You'll need some shovels to bury these men. I smile.
Roll a persuasion check on that.
I don't know what to say to this guy. I was just dropping off a letter. I'm just trying to get the fuck out of here. Persuasion? Sure. $25.
He looks at you and he says, "My lord, you are correct. I should take care of my dead and the other civilians that were casualties in this. And even our enemies should be buried with honor, even if they were pirates or bandits."
Well, you just don't want them rotting in the bar, I assume. Probably throwing them in the ocean.
Some of the warden kind of laugh, and he says, "That as well, my friend. Thank you." And before you leave, he's going to get off of his mount, and he's going to walk over to you, and he says, "I bestow this upon you, my friend, the warden's amulet." And he's going to take off his own medallion and hand it to you. "I do not have enough time to receive you another gift, but this medallion should prove worthy to you. For if you ever meet another warden along your way, whether it be here or in Faerun, they will grant you guidance. Take this with you, always."
I mean, if it fits over my head, I'll just throw it over my head and say,
"Okay."
You're.
He'll actually put it around your head since you're carrying all this stuff.
Yeah, I got like an armful of stuff.
Yeah, and now the medallion just kind of stacks up with everything else, and it's up to your nose now, and they just see your little eyes.
It's like yeah, Grimner's Miss. When the young dwarves all receive presents from Grimner.
We all start laughing as your voice is muffled underneath the sheep's wool as you're trying to carry everything. And the warden captain laughs and he says, "My lord, it is a pleasure to have met you, and I hope you return one day to tell us the stories of your adventures."
And I hope you build.
Oh no, go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I hope you build walls around this village before the demons come and overrun you.
Yes, that is actually our next mission here. Lord Edmund, as he's going to step aside from Warrenheim himself, has stepped forward here and brought money, much funds actually, and workers to build this said defenses. By the winter's moon, by the winter's full moon, we will have our defenses fully secured and ready for combat.
Lord Edmund, he's a human.
He steps forward as he kind of clears his throat. "Lord Rubik, it is an honor to meet you. I am Lord Edmund of Warrenheim, as you've heard, of course. He straightens up his brooch and fixes his crown. I am the next. I am second in heir line of my throne. Of course, I'm the second youngest. My brother
yes,
before me, but I am still in charge of many things and making sure that Warrenheim stays defended. And I've heard of your duties in Warrenheim. I appreciate your loyalties, bone collectors, and your efforts. And I even hear my cousin joins your ranks, which has got me quite, I'd say, inquisitive about the whole matter, because now I wish to know more of why, and of course, discuss some matters with him. Is he available?
Well, last I knew, we remain an independent bunch. We were waiting to gather back on the ship. Perhaps you could meet him there before we cast off. We've been trying to leave for some time, but it seems there's been some problems. And I just look around for I look at the corpse behind me on the ground.
Yeah, you see the one that you actually shot that was trying to jump out the window. And they're just picking up his body now and getting it off the street. And Lord Edmund nods and he says, "Of course, yes. With the bandits and the pirates and such, it was an unfortunate coincidence that they just happened to be here and stop you. But it is actually a blessing in disguise, I'd say. It gives us the chance to talk to you, and of course, I'm sure you have some unfinished business to do before you set sail. Do you not?"
No, I've been waiting to set sail for some time now. I'm ready to go. Your cousin, if you see him, you tell him to hurry along. He's one of the one we're waiting on.
Oh, but of course, my lord. And he's going to bow very eagerly, as the rest of the wardens do as well. I will see to it with haste, my lord.
Also, you should find an expert in craftsmanship to inspect your walls after they are built. Perhaps a dwarf.
Of course, the new warden captain looks around at his men as he's kind of confused at that, and looks for a dwarf in his group but sees none, and says, "I will get right on that, my lord, right away."
I see to it, lad, and I kind of nod to the captain, and I just start walking away with my shit.
All right, and you head back to the Silver Lantern.
Yeah.
All right, you head on back to the Silver Lantern. More people thanking you, and when you get through the second crowd of people as they're huddled around your ship, you receive a full wheel of cheese and a small wooden totem of a what seems to be a gnome or a halfling god.
With cheese, you say?
Oh my God, great.
So you receive more gifts as you pass through the villagers, and you're heading back to the ship. We will now go to Karn's still sleeping, actually. He's going to be sleeping for a while. Karn's, one thing I will say, you can get all of your stuff back. I'll say that you will get enough rest by the next time it's your session, your go-around. So make sure your hit points are all back and everything like that, and you're fully rested. Your exhaustion is gone. And hopefully we can try to get everybody else to sleep so we can kind of do a reboot for everybody really quick. But Jack, speaking of, it'll be your turn. You are still with Scritch in the room with the woman. You heard Ivan kind of enter the room and look at you guys, seeing that you had everything under control, and you now hear him walking down the rest of the hallway, looking into each room, kind of searching for anything. Especially any more bandits or survivors.
As far as I remember, last we left off, we were just leaving her in the room, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pick up Scritch and walk down the hall towards Ivan.
Okay. You pick up Scritch and he says, before you do, he actually turns to you, he says, "Up, up!" And you pick him up and he smiles with a big grin on his face, and he looks at the lady. "You stay here. We'll be back for you." And he's going to pat you on the head. Right, Jack?
Right. Ivan, have you checked this room to our left?
The one.
Hold on, one moment, Jack. As you exit the room, you actually see Ivan kind of with his hands on his knees and kind of leaning over as if he just got done running a mile within a couple minutes. And he's kind of panting a little bit and looking at his hand as if it's like gone, or you could just see he's looking at it in horror, almost as if something horrible happened
disgusting.
to him.
So disgusting. Oh God, please.
What's wrong with your hand?
Well, I mean, it's clean now, but it was covered in shit. Oh, it had so much shit. In this room, there's treasure. It smells terrible, though. You don't smell. You can't smell, can you?
I can smell.
No. Well, you should test your smell out in this room. It's lovely, and I'll step away from the door.
Roll deception check.
Not if Rubik falls for it.
I'll walk into the room.
Are you trying to bluff him, though?
Well, I mean, sure.
Okay, then yeah, you will have to roll a deception check. Jack, roll a perception
I feel
check.
like it might be. I don't want to say this, but because Rat's nowhere nearby. But sarcasm?
Oh no, 8. It's lovely in there.
Insight?
Yeah, it would be insight, not perception. You're correct.
Yes, Rask is made of clear skin.
Well,
so you could easily tell, and without Ras being around for any confusion or for more conversation on the matter, you could definitely tell that there's some sarcasm. Also, he's lying through his teeth. You can see it, the look in his eyes is there's something horrific in there, and he had just been a part of that horrific moment in there. So whatever you decide to do, it might be good or bad, judging by his expression.
I'm pretty sure I saw a chest with some silver in it there. I'm gonna go over here and check out one of these other rooms, though. Come on, Junkie. Eat more.
Eat more. I'll walk over to the door and... Scritch, do you want to go in or do you want to stay out here?
No, I'll go in. Sounds like fun.
Okay, I'll open up the door and walk in, I guess.
He kind of like kicks his feet like back and forth and like stretches them out like one of those kids on those rides outside of the supermarkets that like go up and down.
Like I'm a horsey that he just put a quarter in?
Yeah, pretty much. He's just super excited, and as you walk in, to you it does smell pretty bad. You do have a sense of smell. So does Scritch. Scritch doesn't mind it quite as much, but you can smell it smells horrible.
Well, I mean, Scritch also pissed himself before, so.
Yes. You see the small chest of silver that Ivan was talking about, as well as some other like items that are scattered around the room. You can see that there's actually a broken pocket watch, a broken silver pocket watch. There's a silver cup. Some silver like trinkets here and there, like plates and candlesticks and things like that. It looks like there's just a bunch of stolen silver everywhere.
Does it look like someone has been sleeping in here, or that it's been like...
Oh yeah, like you could tell some of these guys have been camping out up here for a while, probably staking the place out in this room for particular.
Okay.
It's horrible. It looks like they've been living in here for a while. There's plates of food stacked. There's actually rodents here and there as you walk around and start stepping. There's some bugs. It looks like there's even some waste, human waste.
Yum.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It looks like these guys have been camping out here for a while.
I'm gonna set Scritch down wherever there's food.
Okay.
Have at it, buddy. And I'm just gonna go around and grab whatever seems somewhat valuable.
Okay. As soon as you set him down, he's like a little wind-up toy that instantly, as soon as he hits the ground, he runs over and sees a plate of like old food and just starts like just devouring it.
Is this food?
And you see it looks like an old sock.
No.
Okay.
And he sniffs it, and you see he's about to eat it, but then stops and throws it behind him.
Nom, nom, nom.
And you start gathering quite a bit of silver. Roll me a perception check to see how much you can gather. How much you can find, I would say.
All right, straight 20. 19.
Wow, okay, yeah. You find quite a bit of it. It looks like they almost had a fight with the silver. Like they were fighting or joking around and throwing it at each other, having a money fight, if you will. And you can see it scattered all over.
Rain in this room?
Yeah, you can see it's all over the place, and you're picking up like little broken rings, jewelry, like I said, candlesticks, plates, everything. Anything that was made of silver, these guys found it, and it was stuffed in this little chest. What's left, as I said before, is there are 5 silver bars though in total. If you want to add that to your inventory, and you can put that
silver bars.
5 silver bars, and you find 11 pieces of silver, which they could just be, like I said, candlesticks, plates, like broken pieces of silver. They will have various value, though, depending on where you sell them. So yeah, you find all that, and you're still kind of searching through the room. Is there anything else you'd like to do in there? Or do you want to move along? As you can see, Ivan and Junkie are searching through the rest of the tavern upstairs with you as well.
Yeah, after I pick up everything, I'll just go out and search like the other rooms that Ivan isn't. Like if he's going to the one on the right, I'll go to the one on the left. And
okay. I will say, since you guys are together, that you both go to these rooms. Ivan, you're going to kind of tie in with this now.
I get forcefully pulled that way.
Yep. You go to the next room.
Plot together.
More shit.
And overall, you both see that these rooms look to be unoccupied. One of them actually, you can see, Jack, as you walk in there, you can see that there was someone staying there, like a guest, but it looks like they were their belongings already gone. It looks like that they were just sleeping there for the night. It doesn't look wrecked or ruined or anything of the sorts, though.
It is now vacant.
Correct.
Oh, nothing over here.
That room didn't smell that bad. I mean, Scritches smelled worse.
You apparently didn't experience the horrors that I experienced. It was a short time, but it was horrific. Did you find something worthwhile? Was there anything worth or of note in that chest?
Food.
Food. As you can see, he's eating rotten grapes and just kind of gulping them down, and then he also he just eats the stem.
Well, you know what? The food won't go to waste with you around.
There was an old sock in there.
Well, eventually that food would have gotten thrown out at some point. Could have been a week. Could have been a week ago. Who knows?
That is wasteful.
It is, but not with you around.
Praise skirt.
Yes. Ivan's gonna begin to walk down and just search another room.
Okay. So you both you kind of split up again and look at Conquer and Divide and look into both of these rooms, back to back actually.
Charlie's Angel style.
Kicking the doors.
And again, there's actually no sign of anybody up there. It seems to be very quiet, very empty, very vacant. There's no sign of anybody or trash or garbage or even any sign of anybody like leaving or entering the windows at all. Very nice rooms.
Clear.
Very cozy.
Yes, that's good enough for me in here. Let's get out of here. Come on,
yes,
Junkie.
there's a lady in the northwest room.
Yeah, I heard you speaking with her. I didn't want to disturb anything. She'd already seemed to be calming down.
Yes, I'll alert her and let her know that the coast is clear.
All right.
All right, so you guys are going to head back downstairs.
I'll just pop my head in
Jack,
that room and tell her that the coast is clear. Everyone's.
Oh yeah, she's eagerly waiting to follow you guys, and she smiles. My heroes, thank you again, and she's going to run over and kind of grab your arm, where Scritch is on that shoulder as well as he's just looking down at her and just smiling.
Yes, we are the heroes. Pay me in food, please.
And he's just going to put his hand out as he's just waiting, and she just laughs. She's going to look behind you as she sees Ivan as well. You're the one who was fighting in the stairwell, weren't you, earlier?
Yes, all of that carnage was thanks to me. He kind of realizes that's probably not the greatest thing to be proud of. And he kind of pauses towards the end of his sentence.
You don't seem like someone to be proud of something of the sort of that. But as long as you did protect the town and myself and the other girls here, we greatly appreciate it. And she's going to lean over and just give you a kiss on the cheek, as well as Junkie.
Meet more. He has that inflection too.
Now meet more. Now Junkie's in love.
Yeah.
Need more indeed.
You know what? Junkie's gonna pulse temp health when he gets a kiss.
From now on, he only ever rolls his temp health when he gets a kiss.
Oh, Max too.
Wow. Yeah, the only times Junkie can give temp health is with a smooch. So Ivan, you might have to get some chapstick.
That's fine. That's fine. I got this.
Every 6 seconds.
The woman gets 13 temp health too. Might come into play.
All right, so you guys decide to head back down to the
Yes.
to the
And
bar.
I would like to check out the room that I went by earlier.
Okay. You check out that room as well.
Ooh, purple.
I like it. Take that
The
pillow.
only thing that you notice in this room is that it looks like the door was slammed or like scratched with some sort of something like object on the outside, and it looks like it was from the guy who was slipping on the ice several times. And it looks like it was his weapon that kept like scratching at the door. The only thing that you notice that's odd, the rest of the room seems very nice and tidy.
Seems to be like the rest of the house, or the rest of the inn. Well, we should meet up back with Rask. Is Rask still downstairs?
I'm
Begin to
not
walk
sure.
away.
Wait, do you know that I'm here?
Ooh, good thought. Yes, didn't you yell to me at one point? Or did you
Yeah,
S
okay.
that in real life?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
remember.
I actually no. I think I did yell at you.
Separation of
point.
character.
It's difficult, but yeah, I think I did yell at you just to ask if you needed help.
I think so. So yeah, we'll begin walking back downstairs then.
Maybe Raska's down here. There, that'll fix it.
Scritch just laughs.
Continuity errors.
So you guys walk downstairs, and you get down to the main area, and you can see that it's kind of quiet, except for the voices and murmurs of what seem to be the warden talking amongst themselves as they're investigating the area, taking care of the bodies. They're nodding to you and bowing to you as you're walking by. You eventually see through the doorway through here, right here. You actually see Rask standing there with the large boar, who seems to be kind of rubbing up on normal-sized Rask now.
I'm surprised the boar wasn't scared with Rask being huge.
Scritch actually points.
There's Rask. There he is. Rask, over here.
Rask will head through the door then. Meet
Okay.
up with them.
You
Is
see-
the halfling still there, or did he wander off?
he's there. He's there. He's just
Taking notes.
he's taking notes, and he's talking to the owner of the tavern, the Slippery Sailor.
Mm-hmm.
Matilda the pig is just kind of sticking her head through the doorway and just like watching you as you're talking to the rest of the group now. And you guys all see this boar just kind of sticking its head into the room and just following Rask, but stopping since it's too large to go through.
I'll look towards Scritch, I guess, because he was the only one that I know who saw the guy. Did you let that one get away?
The captain.
Which one?
I don't know. I saw one. You were chasing one of them when I went upstairs.
Oh, no, he's dead.
And he looks down at Jack, and looks over at Rask. And he just has a big smile.
We took care of him.
Good. All three of you. He must have been a little tougher.
4 of us. Skirt was there, too.
Always, always.
5.
Yeah,
Oh,
Matilda.
4.
And the boar,
No.
the cheerleader.
The 1 enemy, 2 enemies.
Scritch is trying to count on his fingers, and you can see he's not doing a very good job, and now he's just getting frustrated.
Good.
Rask is a little bit confused as to count, because he's like, was the same enemy, but not.
What does that mean?
He transformed into something else.
Oh, something bad. I mean, obviously he's dealt with, but
He broke some sort of magical branch, and something inside of him transformed, and I don't know, it was very strange. Magic I've never seen before.
He got all spiky and grew a tail.
wow.
He became a barbed devil.
That's it. That's what it's called.
And you see that he's going to try to remember that and write it down in a scroll book that he has.
Well,
Rask kind of
Right.
holds up his hand and like shows the burn from the acid from the.
is it close enough for me to like hold your hand and inspect?
I mean, we can shuffle around so that you can.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Scritch is on Jack's shoulder, so he's not even really like in front of you in the sense. So you just kind of step forward, and you can roll an investigate on, or actually roll a medicine check on
Does it still hurt?
Rask's hand if you wish to look it over.
I will roll a medicine check.
Rask is gonna kind of tilt his head and it's like, Rask feels pain differently.
15.
You can tell it was definitely a very high,
Highly acidic. Or...
yeah, highly acidic level of acid. Like it was definitely a very potent level of acid. This whatever this was it's probably either the, it's either deadly or it's also deadly with a side effect. So you might want to it's something that you might want to keep an eye on Rask for in case the side effects start to occur or anything like that.
Did it seem to break through his skin at all?
It didn't really break through, but there are blisters. It seems Rask's tough lizard folk skin saved his integrity, but definitely caused some blisters and some burns.
We may need to keep an eye on this. You might see some other symptoms that might arise from this. Just tell me if anything changes with it, all right?
Like bite? And he's referring to he like motions to where he had been bit on his neck before.
Oh yes, when we both changed.
Yeah, when we both changed.
I mean,
you see, Scritch looks at you both nervously as you talk. You're talking about that.
Is something gonna happen here?
No. Well, no. I hope no. God no. But I don't think anything that drastic would come of it. But it's best we monitor something like this.
Wait, you were something else before?
Well, there was.
Rask points at Ivan because specifically Ivan changed. Rask did not change.
Oh no, you got bit, but no, because I failed my save too. Yeah.
Yeah, you failed the save and you actually changed.
Yeah.
I was a were-rabbit for a time. It.
A what?
A were-rabbit. It was some sort of trials in the Ember Citadel. Well, the forest actually, the Ember Forest. That place was absolutely insane. I mean, we went through so many tests there. You wouldn't even believe the amount of mental and physical tests you would have to do to get through that place.
Rask counts on his fingers. 3, 4?
At least.
3?
But anyway, one of them was it a dryad we were with? They were testing us, and there was one of her minions, more or less, was a were-rabbit, and he unfortunately took an injury or two, and it didn't go so well for me as much as it did for Rask. Went much better for Rask because he didn't change at all. But luckily, they were able to subdue me for the time and get me back to normal. I don't even like thinking about that, to be honest.
Does not understand. Rask does not understand how Ivan got physically stronger.
I mean, there's nowhere to go but up from here, and I'll kind of just pat my bicep.
So, are you still were-rabbit?
No, we were actually cured. The name eludes me. He was a moon elf.
Caleb, when was the last full moon?
Roll a survival check if Jack wants to remember. And you are correct. It was the lunar elf that you sought to help you.
Yeah, I just don't remember his name. At least not off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and look that up.
Lunar elf.
Got an 11.
11? About a month ago was probably the last full moon.
Were they traveling with us at that point?
No.
No. Rask is gonna look at Matilda and just Rask thinks Matilda wants to come with.
Matilda?
Can
Who
we
are you
eat
talking
her?
about?
Scritch points at the pig.
She looks tasty.
Oh, the pig. Is she a friend of yours, Rask?
Friendly.
All right. If you think Matilda wants to come with us, I'm not going to tell you no. That's fine with me.
Can eat later.
So you do? All right. Whatever you wish, Rask. I don't know if it's a friend or if it's food for you. I'm not sure anymore.
Yay, food!
Scritch shouts.
Later.
Does Matilda have mate?
Rask is gonna think. Rask does not know.
More mini Matildas. More food.
Good thinking, Jack.
Well, I know I'm going to have
Writing boy, though.
quite a long conversation outside waiting for me. I know my cousin's out there.
We set sail. I also go to bed now. Good night.
And you see Scritch is just gonna pass out on Jack. He's exhausted as well and just falls asleep without even if you guys are yelling at him, he's not gonna wake up.
All right. Rask is gonna just kind of gesture.
Jack, he's also sleeping on your head like a hat.
Great.
Curled up.
I still have my hat on.
Yeah. Does that mean that he's crushing the hat? Oh no.
You better fucking not be.
No, he won't crush your hat. He respects the hats too much.
Thank God.
Okay. But yeah, Rask is gonna head back towards Matilda and start walking through the stable doors towards the Silver Lantern. He's gonna also pause to tell the halfling, we are returning to ship. If you need payment information, Rask does not know what you need. If you need something,
You have my credit card on file, you know.
we will be on ship. We will be sailing soon, though.
Oh, no need, my lord. And as he says that, you actually see, as you're in the barn, more warden are stepping forward. And you see a different gentleman wearing yellow clothing, and you can see it's actually the similar clothing and emblem of the golden bear of Warrenheim. Ah, Lord Rask, the great glaive wielder. I've heard so much of your stories. He's going to bow to you. I am Lord Edmund of Warrenheim, second prince of the throne.
Rask kind of tilts his head, and then awkwardly mimics his bow. Rask
Thank you.
does not know how to speak with royalty.
You do not need to worry of pleasantries with me. You are a hero. You've saved Warrenheim many a time, and you've even been there with the great Lord Hellion before he passed. May he rest. May he rest. But thank you again for all you've done. Warrenheim owes the Bone Collectors time and time again, and you've always been welcome back in these lands, I swear to this. Now, my cousin, I heard he was around here somewhere, and I wish to speak to him very urgently. May I request his audience? Is he nearby? And at this time, Ivan and Jack, do you guys wish to follow Rask, or do you wish to leave out the front door?
Last I knew, Edwin was out front, so I'm gonna go out front.
Okay.
Rask is just gonna tilt his head. Cousin?
Ivan, do you wish to evade your cousin? I can create a distraction.
My cousin is Ivan Lionheart of Leon. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's the 6th Prince of the Throne. Not like the 2nd Prince of the Throne of Warrenheim, but the 6th Prince is also a good prince. But yes, I am his cousin Edmund, and I wish to speak in audience with him. May I have some time with him, Lord Rat?
Do I
Lord
hear any
Rask?
of this?
And he straightens up his brooch again, and he steps aside. Yeah, you hear him. He's
Okay.
very loud. You've always known your cousin to be
All
a
right,
very loud
I will
person.
go meet him then if I actually did hear him. Kind of reluctantly.
Jack, do you wish to go as well, or do you want to go the other way?
Ivan, did you want me to create a distraction to get away from your cousin?
You see, Jack kind of stops you before you do this, and Scritch is still sleeping on his. You can see he's just drooling on his on the side of his cheek, as he's leaning up against him.
No, it would be good to catch up anyway. been a while since I've spoken with him. Many years, actually.
Oh,
I just hope I don't fall asleep while we're talking.
I'll slap you awake.
Oh, yeah. And Ivan just starts to laugh a little bit at that. And I'm going to turn back around and head towards the door.
Okay.
I'll follow Ivan.
All right. You want to stay close with him. So Rask, you look through the doorway and you see Ivan walking towards you now as well as Jack and Scritch, who's still sleeping on the side of Jack's shoulder and face. When you appear,
approaches.
when you see them appear, you see Edmund's face light up with joy. Cousin, and he's going to run over and give you a great big hug. It is so good to see you. It is so good to see you, cousin. Cousin, as he's patting you on the back very hard and
please. It's good to see you too, cousin. And I'm just gonna kind of like wince in pain because I was just in a battle.
Yeah. My apologies, cousin. You're probably slightly wounded. A great warrior yourself wouldn't be horribly wounded, of course, would you now?
I am.
He looks at you actually, and he steps back. Perhaps we should seek you some medical attention. Actually, I have some of the finest apothecaries with me.
It's just gonna reach over and touch Ivan and just heal him in front of him.
Okay.
I was gonna do the same.
Yeah, we can both do it. We can both do it.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny if you both do that. A Dragon Ball Z double heal.
Oh God. My modifier.
I mean, I can heal him for 45 just by touching him.
I mean, we're both gonna do it just because it's for the sake of the
flavor, and plus you guys are gonna be getting a rest soon.
Yeah.
I'll heal him for 20 with my lay on hands.
I heal him for 12. Not even half is potent. But the most I can.
So 32 then.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
I'm not full, but I'm doing a lot better.
All right. Your cousin steps back. Oh my! Not just warriors they are, but healers, clerics, and it seems to be warriors of the ancient art of healing. Impressive. The bone collectors cease to amaze and astound me.
Of course, my comrades, and I'll kind of just like pat Rask and Jack.
Yeah, you're the short between
chest, I guess, because I can't remember their shoulders. I'll pat him on the chest and be like, his companions have gone with me through thick and thin. They'll definitely bring me back time and time again, I'm sure. As I will them. What, do you think we're not going to get into another tough battle?
Oh, well, where's Junkie?
You see Junkie's just standing in the bar still, just looking around.
Me.
He's actually trying to order a drink.
He's just standing at the bar.
More?
What do you think to get a drink around here?
Is the bartender around?
No. You can see that they're still they're back in their own. Yeah, they're back in that area. Talking to the halfling.
Yeah, Rest just remembers suddenly. He's like, "Oh, Rubik ordered ale. I could take it to ship." And then he just
that's long gone. That's long gone.
Okay.
That was to arrive early in the morning before you guys set sail, and it's well past. You could tell just by seeing the sun through the open barn doors and the windows.
Yeah.
But Edmund looks at you, Ras. He says, "Are you and your pig friend going or leaving at this moment?"
Rask was going to leave.
No, please stay, please. I insist.
Rask and Ivan. Rask looks down, and then he sees the really dark circles under Ivan's eyes, and then also looks at Scritch. We all have not rested.
Of course. Then I will make this quick. And in fact, I will actually open this to your friends here as well. And perhaps they will be interested in my offer as well. Cousin, picture this. Come back home with me to the capital of Vornheim.
I'm going to laugh a little bit at that. Just a little bit.
No, cousin. Hear me out now. Now, you come back with me to the capital of Vornheim, and I will offer you many things. and I mean many things.
Ask's gonna just like be looking at Ivan the entire time, like, what is this guy doing?
Why do you even want me back there?
Well, you have important qualities, and now you're a hero.
Was I not important before I became a hero?
Well, no, of course you were always important, my cousin. You know that we were the closest of close whenever we were on family holidays or any of the sort.
Do I remember any of that?
Yeah, you do, but he mostly would have you around just to brag or show off to other people because Leon was a very popular place.
Look at my smart cousin.
Basically.
But if anything, it was kind of he was showing you off and bragging about you. But he often he uses people to get his own interest in the sense of things. It's not like he uses them bad, but
right.
He does use people to gain his own interest.
He has a way with money, typically.
Yep. Oh yeah,
Okay.
He's very rich.
Oh, all right. Well, why did you want me back there then?
Well, you see, cousin, your brother has taken his own duties and cut off many of the funds and put up tariffs, and trade has just been difficult. All the other kingdoms have just become very startled and very, let's see, problematic with each other. There's a lot of stress and tension between one another. And
is there any war?
Not between us, but between all of the other factions. Yes, there's war striking across the whole land. These small uprisings of the smaller clans and smaller creatures of the forest and wildlands are now striking out against the greater civilizations, if you will. The elves and dwarves are even starting to march into war. They say that they're looking for allies, and even myself and my family have taken it upon our responsibility to go out and seek for the 8 gems, these sort of allies. Now, cousin, you are part of the Bone Collectors, a group that stands aside as one of the greatest of the mercenaries, and most fearsome across the land, I'd say. Is this not agreed? And he looks to you, Jack, and you, Rask.
Rask is gonna ignore him, actually.
Jack leaving.
Yeah. Rask is gonna look at Ivan and just say, Lord Vulcan's task is waiting.
No, now, see, this is the thing. Our tasks are the same. Lord Vulcan, yes, he is a great warrior, great leader. But now, if you see fit, Ivan, this is for the greater good of the human kingdom. If you join me, it's uniting the 8 gems. You see, Warrenheimer and Leon, we've always been rivals. But if you join me, it would show everyone that there's unity across the land, bringing forth a new era of hope. You would have land and title. I would grant you that.
I've practically already been disowned from Leon.
Well, with this, we could tell a different story. Perhaps get some of your family that's still there loyal to you and I to join us. We can maybe turn Leon around. Take back what is maybe rightfully yours. And he winks at you. Not only that, but not only will I give you land and title in Warrenheim, but I will pay funds for your family's curse and disease as much as you desire. I hear that you're already studying this in Delmont. You have a botanist, don't you? I've talked to him already, and I've been giving him some money forth already. He's quite a brilliant man, I'd say. A little bit of a drunk, but brilliant. And he kind of laughs at the thought of him. Not only that, but I have a very rare item for you back home as well. I believe you know of the Staff of Equivalent Exchange?
Can I roll an alchemy check?
Yes, you can.
The moment Ivan seems uncomfortable.
That would be a 28.
28. Okay. You know that this is a staff that has basically it helps you if you're holding it. It does a little bit of additional damage, usually another D4 with your bomb damage.
Oh my god!
And it has charges. It has charges on it, but it's a little expensive to recap, but it can be useful for certain situations.
Right.
It's a very rare staff that is made by very esteemed alchemists. Basically, when you become a renowned alchemist, you usually get one made for you by the alchemists of your college. So there's only one of a kind for each alchemist in the grand scheme of things when you become a greater alchemist.
Wow, you've really gone through quite the lengths to appease me.
You could say I've done some research, cousin. Not only that, but I would have a proper home for your turtle friend. I don't know what they call it, but it's a very large tortoise that grows very big, I've heard. I have a beautiful pond next to a castle that would be your land if you choose. And your friends here could live there and be your vassals, your knights.
Sure, the pond is already not big enough.
Trust me, my cousin. It is a very large pond. A lake, if you will. I call it only a pond because we live also close to the ocean.
Rask also visibly bristles at being called a vassal, like the idea of being under someone else.
Okay,
So
okay.
It's like you see Rask kind of tense up. Ivan is very familiar with this.
Now, well, cousin, I know you like to hold your power over others. I mean, I've seen you do it in the past, of course, with the servants.
Yes, of course. He smiles.
Well, that isn't exactly going to
Work.
Yes. Okay, yes. That's not going to work for, I mean, at the very least, Rask. And I mean, I'm sure nobody else is going to follow instructions, but Raska, really not going to be
Well,
okay.
then fine then. If your friends won't join me, then at least you should. Now, Ivan, I did not want to also bring this up, but I've already fully paid and had accepted applications to the Alchemy School of Lightning led by the renowned alchemist Vod Lazarus. And the School of Life led by a grand alchemist and great hero of the 8 gems, Titania Arkel.
Do I know of these people?
You've heard of them. They are they're epic alchemists. In your terms, they teach other alchemists how other abilities are formed, like how metal is.
Right.
You got the metal. One would teach you how to heal. The other one knows how to do lightning.
Oh my god! I haven't got a stutters at that.
And as I said, fully paid and accepted. I've already taken the consideration, gone and sought out them personally, talked to them, and made sure that there's room for their college. They only accept 4 students every 10 years, Ivan. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Especially for humans like us, we don't have long to live compared to the other races. We have to take much advantage of our intellect and our capability of learning quickly and use that as our advantage and move forward. We have to keep moving forward, Ivan. Join me. I'm doing all I can to make you as great of a person as I can. But with the Bone Collectors, how much can they really give you? Think of it, Ivan.
Rask is actually at this point just gonna walk around him, but he's gonna say something in Draconic. I assume Rask and Ivan have had a little bit more in terms of Draconic vocabulary.
Yeah.
So Rask is just gonna say Rask will be disappointed if Ivan sells us out for money. And he leaves.
Ooh.
Do I know enough Draconic to say I know?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay, I will.
And when Matilda follows you, you see the other pig is just is not far behind, but following as well, kind of keeping his distance.
Rask is gonna click his tongue to bring the other one with them. He's just like, fine, whatever, let's go.
And you're just kind of now traveling with 2 pigs.
Yep, it's fine.
And your cousin sees Rask leaving. He says, don't bother. Some people don't see the silver lining, Ivan. As I said, this could be hard work, but the payoff will be great. You become a better person for everything. For yourself, for the greater kingdoms, for everything that our family has tried for. Don't you see it?
You seem to not understand my relationship with the Bone Collectors, it seems.
Are we not family?
Well, I could say you and I are family, but I could also say these are my family, the rest of the Bone Collectors. I mean, they have saved my life time and time again. They have been there with me. They have helped me out of so many situations. I mean, they would be as much as family as you or even my brother, my father. I feel like these people love me more than my own father does.
Well, of course, I could say that about the drunk at the nearest tavern, and he actually looks through the door for the nearest drunk. Any drunks nearby?
And these are the people that I know I can count on.
Cousin, you're throwing away a huge opportunity. I've done so much to promote you here. Don't throw it all away, please. And I will love you just as great, and you will be loved by so many. Look what you've done for the Bone Collectors. You could do so much more for Warrenheim. With the gifts I give you, you'll be twice the alchemist you are now. And you're already so great. You'll be greater than them.
It's not the point to be loved.
Fine, cousin, I didn't want to say this, but I even know the location of a Philosopher's Stone made by Seojin the Earthcaller himself, the gnome deity of the Underdark. I know where one is located, and I can even take you there if you come with me, please. And he kind of like stretches out his hand as you can see he's very at this point, like this is his last and final, like he's all in at this point, like this is everything he's done. He has nothing else to offer. Like he's just begging you.
What exactly is your endgame?
My endgame is to bring the 8 gems together and unite the land of humans. Instead of bickering and moaning and pissing over land, I'm going to rule it all. I'm going to say what is and what isn't. That way things will get done. That way the land will be protected from this curse that is coming upon us now. Even the Bone Collectors see it. Your Lord Rubik has spoke of it. Demons, devils, they march. A war beyond our own. The material plane is just a battlefield, cousin. Us will be caught in the middle if we're not careful. I'm trying to survive. What are you trying to do? As he looks at you and Jack.
We've been some of the ones stopping it. I'm assuming you've heard what we've done at the Ember Citadel.
Yes, which is why I want you to join me. Cousin, give me your word. Please, you don't even need to think of this. You should see everything I'm offering you, and you should know that it leads to power and greatness. What more could you ask for? Your curse will be solved. You will gain everything more than you even could get from these people. They don't even care. They've not done anything of what I've done for you. Cousin, I'm going to leave, and you're going to be leaving soon too. Our fates will be departed. If you do not join me, join us. Your people. Your cousin, as he puts his hand on your shoulder. And your big metal friend can come here too. And his little green thing on his shoulder that's drooling on him.
No, oh, he's drooling again.
Can we cut over to somebody else?
Yep.
Thank you. I need some time to think.
So Bashir, you're fully rested and you wake up. You can tell now it's about 11 in the morning, and you actually hear Rubik boarding the ship as he's now he's walking the gangplank onto the ship, trying not to fall off with all these items in his hand. Rubik, you just get back to the ship as well, and you can see that it's quite quiet. There's only a couple people walking around the deck. A lot of the bodies have been cleaned off, and the ship's still being mopped up of the blood for the most part, but it's still pretty messy.
What am I gonna do with all this shit? I just drop it on the deck.
All right, you just drop it on the deck. Near some supplies, and you just drop it there, and you actually see the gnome woman. What was her name?
Tink?
No, not Tink.
Ilsa?
Ilsa, that's it. You see, she steps forward. My lord, do you wish me to take these things to your room?
No, you can take them below deck. Put them in the storage, except Ruby picks up the chocolate. I'll inspect these.
Of course. She smiles and bows.
Perhaps you'd like one also. And I open the box or the container and give her one.
What is this, my lord?
Shrug. Candy?
Candy? I've heard of this. Is it good? And she's going to she's going to see your expression as you take the first bite, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You just pop like 3 chunks of chocolate in your mouth, and they're very good, actually. And she sees you eating them with great joy, and she just takes a small nibble, and you see her face lights up, and she just starts chewing on it like a squirrel a squirrel just found a nut, like in days, like just starving. And she kind of takes everything else and picks it up, and as she's eating her chocolate, she lugs it all downstairs. Thank you, Lord Ruby.
Oh, sure. I pick up. I don't know. She pretends she drops something. I'd follow her down, and I'm just heading to my quarters, I guess. And,
okay.
I'll as I like walk past her, she's carrying the stuff. I say, they're not to my taste, and I stuff a couple more in my mouth, and I leave the box with her, like
She
with the rest of them, you know.
okay. She smiles underneath all the stuff, just like you were when you were holding everything. You hear a muffled "Thank you." And you begin to walk down below deck to the private quarters. And as you do, you actually see Bashir is walking out of a room and kind of like opening the door. And you can see he's kind of stretching, and you hear some like bones cracking, and his large jaw opens up as you can see his little tongue kind of stretches out. He's just full on just got a great rest. You can see he looks rejuvenated. He's 100% now.
What has occurred in town? I saw you leave.
In town, there's death, destruction, the usual. You know, it seems to. I don't know. There's something going on in the bar. There's some screaming from inside. Ivan and Rask were inside, but they're fine. You know, they're just taking care of business. But I'm tired, and the gnome lady has chocolates. But you look rested. You should stop everybody from doing something stupid. And I'm gonna go to sleep.
Bashir, you notice that Rubik is soaked in blood and stinks pretty bad. From all the battle he's been in, and you can just smell him from there. And you kind of think about the poor bed and the sheets and the blankets and everything like that. And you know that there is a bathroom down here as well, so you could suggest that. But it's up to you if you'd want to or not, or you could just let him go on to his business.
Does Bashir even take baths?
Good question. I'm not sure.
Tiles have like a natural musk.
Get back to me on that.
Trees.
At the very least, he would know how to keep. He would want to keep it clean.
Yeah, I mean,
As the quartermaster, he doesn't want to start taking in bad inventory already.
Bashir's just going to look up at Rubik. Have you?
I mean, like covered head to toe in blood, like as if someone dropped a bucket of paint on the guy.
Yeah, from the little experience Bashir has had with Rubik, this is just par for the course.
It's not wrong.
And he's just blanketly staring at you like nothing's wrong.
So Bashir's just going to look up. Would you care to go to the restroom, or do you have the mythical thing that cleans you?
Yes. Resting is now this isn't mine, but resting the room for resting is where I intend to go.
Pick your choose. Do not care. And I'll also state that just the point of fact, Bashir makes a point of sleeping below with the other crew because he sees quartermaster as part of the crew.
Yep. You did sleep with the other crew. I forgot about that. I apologize.
Yeah, you're fine.
You still cross Rubik nonetheless.
Right.
But,
I guess we're just like walking past as I get up to this level. That's fine. But Bashir would head to the top deck where I guess there'd probably be more rope and stuff. And just kind of try and assess the situation. And you said they're still kind of cleaning off all the blood?
Yes, correct.
Where'd it go?
I'm bringing you up top.
But as soon as he gets up, he's just going to look around. He's looking for rope, like bits of tackle and other stuff. Things that are already kind of like probably just cut up and broken from the fight. Because you assume there's gotta be something. He's looking for basically ship debris, stuff that looks like it would be on a ship normally.
All right. You begin to look around the ship, and as you walk upstairs, you can see that they're cleaning, but the orc he's to the upper left of you right here. He kind of looks at you, and he's actually holding some of these broken items and things that were damaged in the fight. One of your benches was broken. It looks like someone large was standing on it, and you also have this. And he's going to show you that there is a hole over here near the near Mangonel that it looks like someone's smashed what looks to be a good size hole into the deck, probably about 2-inch 2-inch in diameter hole through the deck. You can even like kind of like it's almost like a peek hole, and you can see down below into what looks to be one of the bedrooms.
Bashir's gonna look at the broken bench. Is there just like some random boards left over from it?
Yeah, you can actually see he's holding them and hands them to you. Here you are, Quartermaster Bashir. I would normally do this on my ship as well for my quartermaster after a fight.
Bashir's just gonna nod at him, walk over to the hole, and place the boards on top of it.
When you do so, he just smiles, and he's actually going to pull out a. You actually see he has a pouch of nails and a hammer, and he's going to start hammering them down.
Just sort of give him like a thumbs up gesture, but she was probably just still a little groggy from waking up. He's looking for specifically like a good bundle of rope that looks like it's not necessary. She doesn't know a lot about ships, so he's very careful about this. He probably even asked the orc if this is necessary where it is, or if it's just extra rope.
I'm not too sure. Not a question I would normally come across.
Oh no.
Bashir just needs rope that would not look at a place on a ship. That is not necessary. That is all.
Oh, all right. And he kind of nods at that, and you can see he's actually thinking about that pretty hard. And you see Elwin up here just starts kind of chuckling to himself.
Bashir's just gonna look up to him. Do you have any idea? He's just sort of like rubbing the sleep out of his eyes.
I know there's rope over there towards the mast, and you see that there's quite a few extra spools that are kind of wound up, and there's even some spool like safety lines that you would attach to yourself, and extra rope that is attached to the mast, and there's all sorts of rope that is leading from this spot over here in the middle of the ship.
Bashir's gonna walk over there, and he's specifically looking for just spooled rope that is not connected to anything. It just looks like it's extra rope. He doesn't want to take anything.
You find that. You find a couple of those actually.
Okay. He's just gonna note down in his mental list like, good, I need to get more rope when we go to town, and I'm going to start doing this thing. With his ghillie suit, he'll take it out of his bag and just start. Like, that's a feat from Ranger.
All right. So you start taking it apart and start making a ghillie suit. And, yeah, out of rope, actually. So kind of cool. I picture you, like, unwinding it all, making, like, little, like...
Yeah,
like almost
he's like his little bone daggers that he's got, and just sort of, like, turning it into... He basically wants to make it look like if he hides, he wants to look like a spool of rope on a ship.
Oh god. Okay. It's gonna take a lot of rope.
Yeah, so Bashir's making his...
That's why he was looking for ship rope, which is a lot thicker.
Oh yeah, there's ship rope that's not being used if that's what you want to use.
That's what I meant. I wanted to get like the thick, like heavy rope
there's plenty of rope on the ship. There's not like a lack of it. There's quite an abundance. Even extra rope that's not being used, you can see there's quite a bit of it on this ship. They took very good care of stock of everything.
Okay, but yeah, he'd spend a minute, probably a couple, just because he's not familiar with the material himself, just doing that, and he'll put his newly, I guess his newly localized ghillie suit on, so he's got that back on, and he no longer looks like a bush, he looks like a bundle of rope.
Alright.
And
so you just kind of sitting on the top deck doing that, and after a moment of time you actually see Rask walking down the docks, being followed by two large riding boars.
Sure, wait until Rask is actually like up on the ship, but he'd wave.
Yeah, Rask will go ahead and walk up the plank on the ship, and he's kind of wondering if the boars will follow him on the gangplank. But
okay, yeah, they do without any hesitation. Actually, Matilda doesn't, but you see the other one does for a brief time, and then eventually gets on reluctantly, as if he doesn't have a choice.
All right. Rask is
now
gonna look
two
around
large
for
boars.
Bashir.
Okay. You can see that Bashir's just sitting on a bench and just kind of like notices you get on as the two boar are now kind of walking. One of the boars now walking around sniffing the deck, like obviously at what the carnage was, and you can see his tail's very low and his ears are too, as he seems a little intimidated by the large amount of blood that he smells on the deck. Matilda though is still wagging her tail and just rubbing up against Rask.
Rask is now standing in front of Bashir and like trying to keep her from trampling him, but also still petting her.
Bashir just kind of looks at the boars and looks at Rask and starts talking in Draconic, which he's happy to talk in Draconic because he finds it a lot easier than most other languages nowadays. And he's just going to be, so where did the boars come from, and what happened in town? Bashir stayed back on the ship to make sure that everything was okay here, but I heard that there was quite a bit of fighting, at least from Rubik as he went to bed.
Dagger scales were at the Slippery Sailor. These are their mounts. They were left behind.
They are boars? Pigs?
They're riding boars.
Hey. Bashir's going to walk over to one. Does it look like the boar is like set up with like a saddle for like a normal human size, I guess?
Yes.
Bashir's just going to look at it and kind of like pull on some of the straps and stuff. Bashir might be able to convert this for someone of his size. Bashir was also looking towards getting some hogs for the ship so that we have fresh meat if we are on sea for too long. Long shopping list that must take care of before we leave. He's still kind of like brushing the sleep out of his eyes and like obviously kind of like groggy from waking up.
Right. Rask is also very, very, very tired looking. But he's just gonna gesture to Matilda and say, do what you will with them. This one seems to like me.
Bashir will be sure not to slaughter them unless he asks you first. But you look tired as much as the rest of us have been. Hand the reins over and get some sleep.
Rask looks at his hands because he's like, I have reins. But then he looks at Matilda and like, Rask is going to go. Because he realizes that he isn't holding the reins because Matilda was just following him. So he's just gonna
So do you want to head?
He's gonna kind of pause, look around for Vree, Tink.
Okay. You don't see Tink on deck, but with your passive perception, what is that actually?
18.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You don't see Tink at all, but you see Vree up on top, and she's just looking down at you and the two pigs, and she's just kind of smiling. Looks like you brought some friends, she shouts.
Might be useful, he replies back, and then he's just gonna wave. He's like not sure if that's what he's supposed to be doing. He looks really confused as he's doing it, and then he's gonna go towards the downstairs, because he doesn't have a hammock at the moment, so he's just gonna take one from downstairs and bring it up here.
As Rask walks away, Bashir's gonna walk over to Matilda. Are there actually some reins just like sitting on the floor?
They're actually up near her, up on the saddle. You can see whoever was riding her wrap them around the. It looks like there's like a kind of like a built-in like handle in the saddle to grab onto.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the saddle pommel.
That's it. Thank you.
Do they look like they're? I don't know. Is there a way that I can like put like a gate up or something to stop them from getting off the ship, or is it just like the gangplank is there and they can get off whenever?
The railings on the ship are very sturdy and they're like very reinforced. So it looks like they wouldn't try to get over that. And they seem pretty tamed for the most part.
Okay.
It looks like they're even on a boat. They don't seem to be intimidated by a boat. They don't seem to be intimidated by water. They actually seem very calm and like to make themselves at home. The larger one over here is even just laying down now.
All right.
And this one's kind of still following Rask, wagging her tail.
In that case, Bashir's gonna once he's finished with the whole disguise thing, he'll actually sit down and he'll ritual cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Speak with animals. Rask is gonna like make a motion and like point at Bashir for Matilda to stay with Bashir.
Roll animal handling for me.
Okay.
With 18 passive
That's a
perception.
13. Yeah, I have an 18 passive perception.
Yeah, would you notice the footprint, the bloody footprints on the stairs going down into the deck?
Probably.
Yes.
Rask is just going to ignore it because he assumed he can match it to Rubik's footprints.
Oh, very, very so. You could tell that would be it would be weird if you didn't see bloody footprints heading down that direction. And when you point, you can see that Matilda just looks at you and stops wagging her tail, and then looks over at Bashir and just sits and just kind of like lays down right where she's standing now.
Rask will pat her and then go.
She'll wag her tail like 3 times, and then as soon as you stop, she'll just stop, and you
Aw.
begin to walk down. And she just kind of sees you, and she's just staring at you as you're walking down.
Okay.
The orc, as you pass by, the orc actually kind of laughs. Huh. Seems like you make friends with the oddest of fellows, or with the oddest of swine. Goblins and now this fellow, and he points over to the boar. Who's next? And he kind of starts laughing.
Rask just kind of points at him.
Oh, damn.
You see he's about to stand up, and Elwin just kind of, and he just waves his finger, and the orc just sits back down, and you can see he's pretty angry about that, but he's not going to say anything. He's biting his lip, actually. And I'm assuming you're just going down the stairs.
Yeah, he's just gonna ignore him and keep going downstairs.
All right. He very angrily sits back down. He's just pouting now as Elwin's just keeping an eye on him and the gentleman in the captain's quarters that you guys have captured.
Get wrecked.
And you can see that Rask, you head downstairs to the private quarters, and you actually find a room that's just has a single bunk bed, but no one else is in it. Do you want to sleep in there?
Yeah, Rask is probably just gonna collapse. Unless he runs into Tink, in which case he's gonna lecture her for a little bit and then go to collapse.
You don't run into Tink. Did you want to go to the private quarters, or did you want to go to the bunkhouse?
Rask has not gone through the ship actually, so he doesn't know where he's going.
Okay. Let's roll a perception check then to see where you can find your way.
All right. Perception 8. Time to get lost. Okay, 18.
18.
Average.
So, yeah, you actually do find actually a nice map of where things are, and you actually can see where the two floors of the bunkhouse are, and then there's the floor of the private quarters.
Okay. Rask is gonna poke his head into like the general quarters, the shared quarters, to check if the bunk beds are big enough to house him.
You go in there, and you can see that there actually are some bunk beds that are made different size. Like it looks like they're made various sizes for this purpose. Actually, it's perfect.
Okay, then Rask is just gonna walk over there and just face plant into it.
You, without hesitation, you just face plant, and you actually hear Nabs talking. Like you actually see Nabs just kind of like he was like he's almost like eye level with you now as you're just as you're sleeping face down into the bed, and you just see his eyes. You could just see his eyes peering over, and he just kind of looks over.
My Lord Rask, you are amazing up there. I will tell stories, but you get some rest, my lord.
And he's just going to dip back down below the bed, and you just hear him kind of crawl away quietly. As he just very creepily whispered into your ear and then just walked away.
Rask is gonna store that away to process later.
Just too
For now,
tired. Too tired to be creeped out. It's all right, Nab. You can just whisper sweet nothings in my ear. So yeah, you pass out. You are sleeping. Rubik's sleeping. Bashir's groggily working on his ghillie suit, which actually Rubik gave a good idea. So he's working on that, and it's gonna be pretty badass. Carnes, you're also working on talking to animals. Do you
It takes like 10 minutes
10
or
minutes?
so to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna that. So I will go over to the other guys as you're casting that. So back to Ivan and Jack and Sleepy Scritch.
Yeah. Sleepy Scritch.
Sleepy Scritch.
Jack and Ivan have obviously had to make a choice of whether or not. Actually, I'll go back. I don't know. I'll use that one. We're gonna use this map. Sorry about that. He would be in front of you. I did have tokens and stuff, but there are quite a few. I guess it's just one token, but I didn't think you guys were gonna be here that long. Nonetheless, with everybody trying to go to bed. So Jack and Ivan, with the proposal made in front of you by Lord Edmund of Warrenheim, you see that he's still standing there, very eager, very, very intent on getting you to join him at any means necessary. He now still has his hand on your shoulder, waiting for your answer.
When we were younger, did he seem to have any qualities of being a decent leader?
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
No, I guess just roll a history check, actually.
It's the same number.
Okay.
23.
Not that you can recall. He didn't seem evil or had bad intent or ever used anybody to a bad degree. It was always for his own benefit, and it was usually, if anything, the bad thing that would happen was maybe if you guys were getting cookies, he would blame you for the one that would like something little. It'd be like cookies, but if it was something big or major, he would usually like take the fall or find somebody else to take the fall for him. So he'd always have you closest. Like you, obviously, you would remember him fondly, but you always remember that there was kind of a trickster side of him.
Well, I mean, the only thing that I truly care about in this whole proposal is the potential cure. What have you found out about?
What do you mean? Explain.
Well, you said you found something. You found something that could cure. I mean, that's all you said.
No, I would give you funding for the cure.
Oh.
And I found the Philosopher's Stone that was made by a deity of the gnomes himself. With this Philosopher's Stone, who knows what an alchemist of your great power can do? And perhaps right there I have your answer if you're so interested in these items. He smiles. And what of you, Jack? I mean, this must interest you as well. Your friend and you becoming great and powerful in the land of Warrenheim. What say you?
I'm already great and powerful.
Not that you aren't now, but imagine what you could become when you come back home with me. I can give you anything you wish. Better weapons, better items of any sort you need. Of course, it looks like you are armor, or I'm not really too sure if that's your skin. And he kind of looks at your chest plate and he sees his reflection. It's very reflective, though, very shiny. And he kind of fixes his hair.
I would rather have freedom.
Oh, there's of course all the freedom you need. All I request is that you serve me. That is it. I would be your king. That's all. You'd be a great warrior of Warrenheim, though. You'd have everything you'd want, land and title. Of course, everything that my cousin has, you would have as well. You're a hero, are you not? They don't treat you as such. I'm sure they barely pay you. I would pay you 8 times as much as they're giving you now, and you'd have a castle, your own men. Or if you don't even want that, you can have the privacy if you wish. People could be secluded. We won't bother you. But if I need your help, I might call upon you.
So not really freedom.
No. Nobody else will bother you, and I would rarely bother. If you didn't want me to bother you, I'd leave you alone. maybe in a great time of need, if we're all going to die, I might come on knocking upon your door. But for now, I would just ask that you live in my land and be a part of my kingdom. A great hero as you would be a great defense in my land. He smiles.
Unfortunately, cousin, I'm going to have to decline.
Come now, Ivan, you must be joking now. How can you decline such an offer?
I mean, as I said before, the truly the only thing that I wanted was more a way to get closer to the cure, and money isn't the issue. I mean, when I was back at college, when I was back at Lyon, I had that time to research. I had that money to research. I needed the experience. I needed to get out there. I needed to adventure. I needed to find the elements, the materials to get there.
Well, then I will fund those things for you. Whatever you need funding for, I'll give you the money to do so and the members to do it. The Lord Vulcan's only selfish in sending you on his own duties. He doesn't want to help you. I want to help you. Let's focus on you, Ivan.
I'm gonna stop him when he says Lord Vulcan doesn't want to help.
Okay. All right, you stop him.
No. Lord Vulcan is an amazing person. He regularly risks his life in seek of peace, and he only wants what am I trying to think of? He only wants safety and equality for everybody that he holds dear, and everybody in the world. Unfortunately for you, cousin, I don't feel you feel the same way. When he sends me out somewhere, it's because he believes in me. He knows that I can get the task done. And that's just not something I can give up.
You'll regret this, cousin. I promise you that. You will regret this. And he's about to say something else, and he stops, and he says, your sister is also missing as well. They even say she's dead because she made the same mistake. She walked away from my offer.
Is that a threat, cousin?
That's not a threat. I would never lay a hand on her. She was amazing as an alchemist. No, I could pay someone to do it for me, but I would.
Yes, of course. You pay somebody. You only have use with money, don't you?
You will rue this day. Then he's going to walk away.
I'll look back to Jack, and I'll say, some people aren't loyal to you. They're loyal to their need of you. Once their needs change, so does their loyalty. That's not somebody we need with us, Jack.
You're preaching to the choir.
His scritch is like leaning against the side of Jack's face and drooling down his cheek.
Stop drooling.
As you see, he shoves him again.
Did you hear those things that he was offering me, though?
I did, but I didn't really understand them. I kind of looked down at my feet, ashamed. I didn't really understand.
I mean, unimaginable power. I mean, he said he found a philosopher's stone. I mean, that can nearly create material on the spot. That's unheard of.
He could have also been lying.
True. Although something tells me he wasn't. And he didn't say he had it. He said he knew of a location.
But that doesn't mean that it's obtainable.
Something of that caliber, you would go that far for a rumor. And many people in the past have. And granted, most of them have died, but power like that is not within the grasp of many.
I suppose, but...
Anyway, we should be back to the ship. I'm sure Rubik's going to want to... I'm sure they're probably already taking off.
Oh, God. We should go.
Yeah. I'm going to dismiss Junkie at this point because he's too slow to keep up with us.
Okay. Junkie was putting on his running shoes, but he sees that you're going to do that. And it's
well,
pretty
if
sad.
he can get an extra 15 foot of movement speed a turn, then yeah.
No, he will disengage and just kind of appear back into his little form.
Yeah, kind of like fold back up into a box. I'll pick him back up and throw him back in my alchemist bag.
All right, you do so, and you and Jack head back to the ship, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Jack?
Kind of lazily.
Okay.
I'm like dragging my feet as I'm going along.
All right.
There's
Scritch
always
is
time later.
away. And Jack still seems somewhat energized, as if nothing really too bad is happening with his department there.
Maybe we'll find a philosopher's stone on the other side of the sea.
Oh, if only. That'd be quite a tale, wouldn't it?
You just have to jump into a volcano to get it or something.
Rubik will probably be the one pushing me in.
He probably
Rubik's ears twitch. He nods.
It's like a montage of just Rubik just pushing people into a volcano.
And you both start heading back towards the silver scale. And after a moment of time, you guys actually all meet up with Bashir, who's on the top deck.
Have I finished the spell for speaking with animals at this point?
Yes. Yeah, you've just finished it as you see them coming down the road and onto the docks to head towards the ship.
If they're not on the ship yet, Bashir will just sort of give a quick wave in their direction and then look over towards Matilda and the other boar and using the spell just talk with them. Just be like, Bashir has been told by friend Rask that you are fond of him. What is it your wish to be on this ship?
The Matilda, the pig that likes Rask the most, just kind of looks up at you as you speak, and she slowly says, I like Rask. Rask is nice.
It's good of a reason as any. Let me...
Rask protected me from Creature. Creature was going to kill us. The large one over here, the other boar, deeper voice, he speaks as well. Kill us! Kill us! As you see, he speaks up, and you hear an oink. A loud kind of like oink as the boar shrieks out.
She's just gonna like hold a hand towards him. Kill on yourself, friend. Everyone on this ship wishes to treat you in the same way. We will not harm you, and we will protect you as best as we can. One last question towards you, Matilda. I believe that Rask has brought you for a reason, unsure exactly why. Perhaps just that you are fond of him and you no longer have master. In any case, would you be willing to let us ride you as your previous owners have? Bashir would never do so without asking permission.
I will follow great leader. Rask, great leader. Lead us. The other pig down here, lead us! Lead us!
Bashir will take that as a yes. Would you mind if Bashir removed your harness and altered it in a slight manner? As he's looking towards, he's actually looking towards the larger one, because Bashir realizes that Matilda has obviously a bit more of a not attraction, but Matilda is more. I don't know the word on the top of my head right now. Matilda likes Rask more than the other one does, so Bashir's like, leave Matilda for Rask. Maybe the other one's a good mount. So he's addressing the other one that I'm guessing has like the deeper voice, asking if it's okay if Bashir like approaches it and takes it off the harness and everything to alter it for someone of his size. Later on, he's just gotta take it off for now.
Roll an animal handling check with advantage.
I think.
Welcome back, Jack.
Jack's big.
23.
Yeah, the boar looks to you and nods. Please, freedom feels good.
Bashir understands the feeling as he realizes that he's now covered in his ghillie suit again and kind of feels a bit more restricted after having spent the last day or so out of it. And I guess probably take about the same amount of time to take the harness off of the boar as the rest of the route takes to get up to the ship.
Okay. The boar. You see the boar before you approach him, though. He says, "Please raise your hand."
Bashir will do so.
He's just going to take in a deep breath and sniff your hand. You can see it's almost as if he's sensing who you are and is a creature. It's almost his sign of judging you, almost kind of like how dogs sniff each other and so forth. He's just greeting you.
I feel like Bashir would be used to this considering his
wise
background.
Creature. What are you saying?
I feel like Bashir would be used to this considering his background.
You wise creature. Thank you.
All creatures are wise, but some more than others.
And he's just going to bow his head for you to he's just kind of like, he's basically just going to sleep as he'll allow you to remove the saddle.
Alright. Yeah, like I said, I'll just start taking that off, and I guess it shouldn't take long, so it'll probably be done just about as they're
And
in it.
Matilla's just going to actually rub up against you and just start like asking you questions. Food? Are you thirsty? You should go get water.
Is Matilda offering Bashir food?
Asking if you have food.
Asking if I have food?
Yep. She's actually trying to sniff your pockets and like she's like kind of trying to open up your backpack.
I don't think Bashir has any rations currently on him. No, because they would be in the bag that Rubik gave me.
Yeah, does Rubik have a random pocket full of acorns like Ras does?
No, like Bashir, like after Rubik gave that bag of holding to Bashir probably put like almost everything in there, so he doesn't have anything that Matilda would probably smell since this isn't pocket dimension. But he would just sort of like pet Matilda on the head. Bashir is working on going out and getting further livestock. Not that you are quite obviously smarter and better than average livestock, as well as proper feed and food for yourselves and them.
And she's just gonna keep going through your stuff, waiting for pets, and she's listening to you. But you see that's a lot of it kind of almost went over her head. And
oh God, it's like a cat.
She says, "We take care of you. You take care of us. Food."
I don't think Bashir has a lot of human meat. I don't know if that's good to start feeding them that, though. I know boars are omnivorous, but I don't know if that's good to give them a taste for that with Ivan on the team. It probably crossed Bashir's mind for a sec, but he just sort of like casually shrug off Matilda as he continues to unhook all the straps and such from the other boar. Actually, as he does so, since he knows Matilda's name, he'll look at the other boar and ask its name.
Baja.
You're gonna have to spell that out for me.
Haja.
You cut out. What was that?
Haja.
EHJ?
Haja.
Okay, HAJA. You're
BDHB 5932.
Batman symbol.
So Haya or Haja?
Baja.
Haja.
No, Baja. The B.
The B is there, yeah.
Oh, B? What?
Somebody just type it.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm clear.
11001.
My headset's like really acting up right now, so I'm hearing like every other syllable. Hold on a sec.
A is an apple.
B is in toy.
B
Okay, I just jumped back in, so I didn't hear any of that.
Well, it's in our Discord.
Okay, yeah.
How it's
No.
spelled.
Okay, I got it. I hit everything but the B.
I don't know how that turned into a trial.
That's almost as bad as sarcasm.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's fine. Rask is asleep. No one's gonna ask.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I guess Bashir will just have idle conversation as he's taking off the harness and everything. And if he does get done before everybody's on the ship, he'd look over at Matilda and ask if she wants hers off.
Okay. You're still doing so, and she says she doesn't mind. It doesn't matter to her.
All right, he'd take that as she's fine with it. Just leave it be.
But as you're just finishing up, and you see that you're kind of holding this big saddle, or you're kind of dragging it across the deck since it actually weighs more than you do. You can see that your other comrades have now boarded the ship's Captain Scritch, his Mount Jack, and Ivan.
At the sight of Scritch, Bashir will let go of the harness for a sec and just give like a proper salute.
Oh God.
Scritch will see this, and he will look around the ship as he sees that it's covered in blood. And then he will look to you, and his chin will be up, kind of like almost like one of those strict military people, and he's just going to kind of give you a little salute to allow you to stand down.
What has happened here?
The others are working diligently to remove the bloodstains from the ship. There seems to be minimal damage from what Bashir has seen. Bashir has been talking with the boarders that Rask brought on board and making sure that they are comfortable and willing to join the bone collectors as part of the crew. We have one captive waiting within your quarters. Unfortunately, there was no other place to hold him. And the Dev is still...
Why is there someone in my quarters?
Bashir's just going to walk up, pull his hands together, and just sort of like look at Scritch with the face of like, please try to understand. His face is like, your quarters are the best place for him currently.
I'm so tired, I want to sleep.
There is no bed for you in your quarters. There are inside this.
Kill him! Kill the captain in my quarters so I can sleep.
He is not a captain. He is a prisoner, and we need information to make sure that this will not happen to both the town or us again.
He's our captive, and I said kill him, Jack. I want to sleep.
No. We can't kill him. We're not going to kill him, Scritch.
I don't want him in my quarters.
Bashir said there wasn't even a bed for you in there.
He is
This
missing.
is still my room. I am Captain Scritch.
Bashir just holds up one hand and it's like, can I talk now? He's like, he has only, I believe, 2 limbs that are remaining on death's door. There is no reason to kill him. If you wish, we can remove him to a other area. It just was the most secure place remaining on the ship while you were away.
He looks over at a chest that's actually nearby him, that's full of cannonballs.
Take the cannonballs out and stuff them in there. I don't care. Not in my quarters, though.
And Scritch just he crosses his arms and nods his head and sticks his nose up as if that's his final ruling as he's now standing on Jack's shoulder, not sitting any longer.
Captain's orders.
Bashir will just sort of kind of look down at the floor, or half defeated, and sigh and just be like, Bashir will remove him from your quarters and attempt to do as you wish.
Quartermaster Bashir, and he smiles at you.
Bashir just looks off to the side, gives an eye roll, and then sort of looks to the others. What news is there from the town? Rubik reported heavy fighting. Is everyone all right?
Yes, we're tired. We actually seem to do a better job at keeping the tavern clean more so than the ship.
Bashir just looks at all the blood. So the tavern was only half covered in blood.
Ivan's just gonna laugh at that. Well, I'd say roughly 45%.
Were they equally as pathetic there as they were here?
Some brain matter, yes. Where's beds? I need sleep. Beds.
Come, Bashir will show you where to sleep. At the same time, Bashir will remove the prisoner from your quarters as he sort of motions towards Scritch.
Yes, please.
Well,
and
thank you, Quartermaster Bashir.
I'm just going to follow behind Bashir. I haven't really been on the ship too much yet.
Okay, yeah,
Other
you
than
can tell
going into that
Bashir.
one room.
Bashir knows the ship better than anybody at this point.
As Bashir is about to go down, he'll sort of look towards the boars, and I guess in whatever language the spell gives him to speak with animals, he'll just sort of yell towards them. These are all friends. You should treat them as you do the rest and myself.
We take care of them. They take care of us, as Matilda says, and she just lays down next to the other boar and just lays her head down.
Bashir just sort of like nod towards that and continue leading everyone down to the lower decks.
Was he just screaming and oinks?
Oink, 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 oink.
That's up to the DM.
Um,
I never figured out if it's like a different language when you're speaking with animals, or if they somehow just understand common all of a sudden.
I think they're just supposed to understand you.
Yeah.
I think they just understand you, so it's in common.
Okay.
Or whatever language you're speaking with them.
I mean, Bashir honestly would just like default to Draconic.
That's fine. Sure.
Which means I guess Ivan would
so you
get like
guys
a little
go
bit of
into the captain's quarters, and you see that the Highlander's in there, and he's guarding the prisoner. And he looks at both of you, Bashir and Ivan, and Scritch and Jack, and he sees all of you approach. Looks like we're about to do some interrogating. Wake up, friend! And he's going to walk over, and he's just going to punch him across the face. And the guy just kind of, why the hell did you punch me? I was just sleeping. No sleep for the wicked. Wake up now, as he's going to crack his knuckles.
As we walk in, Bashir's just going to look at the Highlander. He doesn't know his actual name, but you know. And he'll just respond with, "The captain wishes to have his quarters emptied for the rest," as he looks over at Scritch. "Please, follow me with the prisoner. We'll interrogate him later."
Aye. As you wish, Quartermaster Bashir. Come with me, you. And he's just going to grab him, and the guy, as the Highlander's grabbing him, he says, the captain says, "Oh my! It looks like you're going to be bringing me to. You're taking me out of the captain's quarters. I'm very worried now. Are you going to kill me? You would like that, wouldn't you?" As the Highlander just kind of looks him in the eyes.
This was the luxurious room. It's worse from here.
Bashir's just going to
There's
look over.
nothing in this room. You guys are weird as hell. This isn't a captain's quarters. It's some.
We just got the ship. We haven't furnished it yet.
Bashir's just going to look at this guy. "Oh, please, don't worry. Soon you'll be with the other prisoner, and I'm sure he'll have a fun time with you," as he thinks of Dev.
And he looks at the Highlander, and the Highlander just shrugs. "Good luck." And he's going to follow you and Sleepy Ivan down the stairs, go down below deck. And are you going to take Ivan to the bunkhouse or the private quarters?
He'd take Ivan to the private quarters. I guess in his mind, Bashir considers any of the original group that he joined as like officers on the ship or whatever. So he'd give them, he'd direct them towards the officers' quarters, as I'm sure he did Rubik earlier. And anyone else, he's gonna head towards like the crew quarters.
All right.
Obviously, Scritch is his quarters, but you know.
Yeah. So you all four of you guys leave now. As you take everybody down below deck. Jack, you are now alone with Scritch in the captain's quarters, and you can see he kind of looks down at you. And he says, "Please set me down."
I'll just set him down.
He's gonna unravel his bedroll and just kind of lay it down closest to the window right here.
Look at this ship, Jack. It's our ship for Skirt. When we set sail, I will have a mandatory meeting with everybody to make sure that we know that we're going to be building a monument to Skirt. And I will rename the ship too. I will reveal the name when everyone awakes tomorrow. And he smiles as he's staring out the window, and you can see his reflection like an evil kind of like grin.
I imagine him like evil Morty at the end of that one.
Yes.
Where just everyone's just like floating out in space.
This whole ship will be a monument to Skirt. Praise Skirt!
And he kind of cheers as he looks to you and waits for you to reply.
I'll do like a little like bow and be like, "Praise Skirt," and then I'll walk out the room.
Wait, Jack, don't you want to stay here with me?
He smiles.
I have some things to look over.
Oh, okay.
He seems kind of sad.
I guess sometimes being captain gets lonely.
I'll be sure to stand post outside of your door.
Oh, at least make sure someone does too. If you do go, make sure someone guards me.
He smiles nervously.
I'll just give him a thumbs up and close the door behind me.
Thank you, Jack.
Lock it. Never let him out again.
So you leave too, and the orc looks at you and he says, "What
I
you
find
two
the
are
heaviest piece of furniture I can.
Yeah.
Slide it from-
The orc looks at you and says, "What? You not sleeping with your best friend?"
Oh.
No, I'm not. Now shut up before I beat your ass again.
He's about to say something and he looks up at Elwyn again, who's not even going to say something. He just looks at you. He just looks down at him, and you see the orc doesn't even say anything at this point. He just looks defeated. And no, he can't win any of these arguments. He tries, but nothing happens. He just at this point, he's just going to give up. He's just accepted
He's like,
that you bone collectors are just going to keep one-upping him. So he's just done. He's just accepted at this point. So he just sits back down and just keeps his head down.
Yeah, it's what I fucking thought.
You're the strongest. I'm sorry. He apologizes to you as you walk past him. Where would you like to go, Jack?
I don't know. I just didn't want to be with.
I hope he listens to this.
Can somebody
stream
clip
later?
this?
I really hope Jay watches the VOD. Yeah.
Recording it, so I almost want to be like, oh, you should listen to Karn's recording, and then he's just gonna play this back and be like, wow,
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. So after you burn Scritch really hardcore after you leave his room.
No, actually, I was gonna try to. What time is it approximately?
It is now noon.
Noon. Okay.
Yes.
I just want to find a place to sell some of that silver stuff.
Weird.
Well, while everyone's sleeping, I'll go off ship and try to sell that silver stuff.
Okay, so you want to try to go sell all that silver?
Yeah.
Okay. So you take everything and you kind of account for it in your backpack, and you just sling it back over your bag and start heading back towards the village.
So
now almost everybody was
turn around, run straight back to the boat.
Everybody was, yeah. Okay, so everybody was on the ship, but now Jack is leaving again to go sell some silver.
Just
but
a
everybody
quick
else is now
5 minutes.
asleep, technically, besides Bashir. Bashir, you were down below deck. You show Ivan the private quarters, and the Highlander's still carrying the hostage, but he's not. He didn't go as far as into the private quarters. He's just waiting by the stairs for you to finish up Bashir. I'll actually bring you guys down there.
Well, I said again, I was looking at something else. Sorry. Hello? Hello?
He's just setting.
Oh,
people-
okay.
people
Sorry.
on the man.
Around.
I had a long sequence of quiet. I was worried my headset died.
Very good. So yeah. He's gonna walk him out the door as you're now standing in the private quarters up here. And the Highlander, as he's walking him out the doors, Ivan, it looks very, very nice ship. It's very decorated nicely. There's nice ornamental sconces that are on the wall for candles, or in oil lamps, I should say. There's nice potted plants. All the bedrooms are still furnished and have nice lavish and comfortable pillows, blankets, chairs. There's some writing utensils. There's paper. There's just all sorts of stuff as you start looking on shelves, and even some extra spare clothes underneath some of the beds. It
I
looks
really
like
don't
there's a
spend
lot
a
of
lot
stuff.
of time looking.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's just something that you can just notice as you walk
okay.
into the room.
Okay.
It's a jam-packed room, basically.
It's got a
All
bed,
right.
that's all he cares.
I appreciate that it's cozy, but I am gonna go pass it the fuck out.
All right, so you just take one of the first rooms and you just head to bed. Bashir, but you don't. As you turn around to even say goodnight, he's gone.
I don't say anything to Bashir. I just I shuffle forward, turn the corner, and poof, on the bed.
Everyone is. This is just how everyone goes to sleep now. Face plant into bed.
Small tear down the cheek. I thought I would have courtesy now that I'm back in society. No, Bashir's gonna look over at the Highlander and just sort of like kind of look up at him. The prisoner lost a couple of limbs. I can't remember exactly which ones.
He lost his leg and several fingers.
Oh, okay, so it was just a couple of fingers, right? I thought he lost an arm for some reason.
No, that was another. Oh, that was a couple of other people.
Yeah.
Some
I
people.
was going to say that was the other guy, but that happened to a lot of guys actually,
Right.
and women. I don't want to be discriminatory in that
Right.
part because you
so-
guys slaughtered everybody in their crew.
Bashir's just gonna look up at the Highlander and kind of like motion for him to get down to his eye level, which Bashir knows is a bit annoying for most people, but necessary in this point.
He will lean down to you.
Bashir's just gonna like walk up to his ear. Bashir wishes that you speak with us with nobody. Whatever Bashir talks with the prisoner, you do not repeat. If the prisoner repeats anything, you deny. Understood?
I won't say a word, my lord, as he nods his head to you.
And I will actually incite that.
Right.
Oh. 9. Whatever.
Right.
Worth a roll, at least. So I guess...
You can see that he's not lying. You definitely beat his check, and he's not lying whatsoever. You can pretty much read the Highlander like a book. He's not good at lying or bluffing or anything like that. He's pretty. He bears his emotions on his sleeves, and you could tell as he's looking you in the eyes, he's very serious.
1 second. I need to fix something. This is annoying me all fucking night. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Bashir will look up at the Highlander and just sort of like nod a little bit, and then look over at the prisoner, and kind of motion for the Highlander to bring him down to the same level at this point.
Okay. So you're gonna lead the way for them?
Well, no. Bashir, staying where we are, he's basically asking the Highlander to force the prisoner to crouch down to the same level.
Oh, okay. He's going to do so. He just basically just takes out his leg, and the guy falls to the ground and hits it very hard. Whoopsies! Looks like you took a fell, and the Highlander just kind of laughs.
Bashir's just going to give him a small glare because he kind of didn't want to be too rude to the guy, and he'll walk up to the prisoner and actually kind of like help him to his knees a bit, but not let him stand all the way up. And as he's looking at him, he's going to assume common is the best way to speak with him, so that's what he's going to default to. And he'll just sort of look at him and talk in a very hushed tone. Do you know where you are currently?
I'm on the Silver Scale ship that was apparently taken over by you blokes.
Then you have the wits about you that you know where you are at least. Good. Bashir, he's actually going to point towards himself because he knows sometimes the third person thing can be confusing. And kind of look back at the guy to make sure he understands.
He's staring at you. He just doesn't say anything.
Bashir would ask a task of you. And if you are able to perform this task, Bashir would be able to help you. Considering the rest of the crew on the ship would just as easily see you thrown overboard, or, as with the rest of your crew that Bashir has killed, turned into food.
Alright. What do you want from me?
Bashir is about to place you in a cell with a certain person that Bashir does not fully trust, that nobody in the ship fully trusts.
Doesn't look like you trust anybody.
Bashir trusts the bone collectors, and kind of looks over the Highlander, and their friends. Bashir does not trust you, but Bashir thinks that the fear of being eaten is fear enough to do what Bashir says.
Whatever. What do you want? What are you getting at? You talk too much for being small.
Bashir's actually going to cut him across the face with a dagger real quick as he says that.
What the hell? Just, stop hurting me. Just kill me if you're going to do it. And the Highlander's going to put his foot on the back of on his back as he's laying down on the ground.
And Bashir's going to
when you talk to Lord Bashir, and the Highlander is about to draw his axe from his back.
Bashir's just going to hold up a hand to the Highlander, like as to say, not yet, but keep it out. And he's going to take his claw. Bashir's going to take his clawed hand and sort of dig, his right hand, and sort of dig the edge of the claws into the new cut, and that he put on the face, so that he can force the guy to look at him.
All right. I get what you're saying. Help! And he shouts for help.
And if he tries doing that, Bashir's going to grab him by the throat.
Okay, I'll stop. And he gets the message very quickly, and you see the Highlander has now already drawn his axe. You better bite your tongue, friend. All of yours are gone. And there's no help on the ship.
And with a very serious, to the other members, it'd probably almost be a bit scary. Look on his face. Bashir's just going to look at this guy. Bashir has tortured many of your kind, many of the other bipedals. Do not make Bashir do so to you to follow his orders.
All right, I'm listening. I'm looking at you. What do you want?
Bashir is putting you in a cell with another person.
Yes, you told me this already. What else?
Give him a quick slap for being insubordinate.
Come on, this takes forever.
A bit of a sigh from Bashir. You will tell Bashir everything that you notice from this man. You will tell Bashir everything the man says, and you will do so with the best of your knowledge. If you do not, Bashir will turn you into more food, and he will take much longer doing so.
No, sure. You don't need to say another word. I agree to all. That sounds super easy. If you want me to even kill the guy, I'll do it too. I'll kill him if you want.
He'll take a little...
Just please, no more.
He'll dig a little deeper into his cut with his claws at that.
I'm so tired. I'm sorry, what were you going to do?
He'll dig a little deeper into his claws, just at the first line of that, into his cut.
Okay, I'll stop talking.
You do not tell any of this to the prisoner. You act as though Bashir... And this entire conversation never happened. Do you understand?
I understand. Just stop hurting me.
Good. Bashir's gonna tap him on the face, and he'll actually grab the healing spirit out for a quick sec. And he'll basically bring the guy up to whatever full HP minus a leg is.
Okay.
So that he's nice and able to work around without having any health issues after being put in the prison cell post this.
Okay.
And he's gonna look over at the Highlander and just sort of give him a look of like you're cool with this? You understand?
The Highlander nods.
Bashir will just nod at him and then sort of motion for the Highlander to bring the prisoner with him over to where we're currently keeping Dev.
Alright. So you're going to head in that direction?
Yep.
With the Highlander and the prisoner. You're going to escort them there, and you're going to give Dev a new roommate, we'll just say. So you head off in that direction, and we will now actually head back to Jack Attack, who's back in the village as everybody else is sleeping and getting rest. Jack, you eventually get to the middle of the village now, and you're kind of looking for a place to sell your silver. You do know that there is a trading post you've passed by before, and you're now within eyes sight of it, and it's only about a good 120 feet away from you. And some of the villagers notice who you are, and they're bowing to you and cheering for you as they're passing through. Even one of the wardens walks over to you and says, "My lord, is there anything I can help you with? You seem lost."
No, just got some stuff I need to sell before we head out.
Of course. And he's going to bow his hat to you and And he says, "Nice hat, by the way." And he's going to tip his smaller hat to you, and just keep walking on.
I was gonna keep moving.
All right, you keep on trucking. So you eventually are. I was going to say, do you want to go to the trading post, or do you want to try and look for somewhere else?
Trading post is fine.
Okay. So you go into the trading post. With the great memory, you see the store owner look at you and then looks down at your tunic and instantly grabs the broom. Now I don't want no trouble. See, I have no more cookies for you.
I'll turn around. I got.
Okay.
That's the guy's broom that I threw, right?
No, that's not that. That's actually not that guy's broom that you threw. Somebody else's.
Oh, okay.
That was a different family. This is the actual owner of the shop.
Oh, okay. Then I'll.
He was just referring to Scritch.
Oh, yeah.
When Scritch teleported there originally in the town, that's where he teleported and got around eating all the cookies.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Well, eating and contaminating because he was rolling and then making cookie angels.
Making cookie angels.
So you don't leave, but you see the guy is terrified as he sees your tunic and remembers Scritch as he's grabbing the broom that seems to be his defensible weapon. I don't want any trouble, you hear? I am all out of cookies.
I'm not trying to make any trouble. I just need to sell a few things.
Sell a few things, of course. I forgive me. I don't want any trouble. You're not like your friend before with the one that was the little green one that ran rampant in my store and caused lots of damage. Are you?
No. He's not with me. He's still on a ship.
Thank goodness. I'm still recovering from that.
He could be quite
dent in my he put a very good dent in my supplies, you know. I it's going to hurt me in the long run.
I have no quarrel with you, sir.
Well, I'm just letting you know it might cost a little extra if you're looking to buy anything.
Okay.
Or you can make up for the damages with whatever you're trying to sell me. As he looks over at what you have in your hands.
Whatever you think is fair.
Of course, he smiles as he tells you to come closer. Yes, we can come up with some sort of deal. He smiles. I don't want any trouble. You don't want any trouble. You of course want to make bygones, and I want to be a friendly store or a friendly trading post clerk. So let us work together here. Now, what are you trying to sell me, friend? As he looks eagerly in the chest that you're holding.
I'll just drop the 5 bars and then like the silver plates and candles and all that stuff that I gathered.
Okay, the candlestick holders and stuff like that, all the nice silver trinkets. All right, so you set everything down. As you do, you can see that the guy's eyes widen. My, this is quite a bit of silver. These bars, they must weigh at least several ounces. Where did you find these?
Oh, I took a little bit off my back. I didn't need the armor.
He looks over your armor and looks back at all the stuff that you were trying to give him and the silver, and he says, if you're going to sell all this, I could give you 6 gold, and I would give you 7. But let's say you give me one gold for all the damages your friends caused. And he smiles.
Can I do an insight check to see if that is a fair price for what I would assume?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
you look over at him and you kind of look into his eyes to see if he's telling the truth. Oh boy.
boy.
So from what it looks like, you can see that with your insight check alone, you can see that he is telling the truth, but something seems a little odd. You're not sure if it's the amount that he's giving you. You're just not really sure what part of the deal just seems odd, but something about it seems odd. Not bad, but just odd.
Are you sure nothing about any of this is special, or?
Well, how about this? Instead of giving you a gold piece, I will give you 6 gold and 50 silver, and I will only take 50 silver instead of a gold. It wasn't that much damage as he caused me.
Do I feel better about this?
How about 75 gold or 75 silver?
Oh, 75 gold, I'll take it.
No, 75 silver, and I'll take 25 silver, and you just keep the rest. How about that? I only need a little bit to make up for what I lost for those cookies and the mirror he broke.
Oh god, that means he's gonna have bad luck, isn't it?
You're the one going on a ship with him out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't say loud. Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Perfect.
Okay. Well,
He smiles. Well, thank you. He's going to give you all all that silver and in a large pouch, and then a couple gold pieces set aside for you, with a nice piece of twine that's wrapping the gold together to keep it all together, very nice and neat. There you are, my friend. And I just take this 25 silver and put it in my my pouch there. And he smiles at you. That will just be for the damages as he grins over at you. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Not that I can think of.
All right then. He smiles. Well, if you need anything before you leave, my friend, you tell all the rest of your comrades that I will be assisting them with anything they need, and I have the best prices around town.
I'll be sure to send the goblin over right away, and I'll walk towards the door.
He smiles. Just don't send him! As you shut the door behind you.
I'll just head back to the ship.
Okay. You head back to the ship. With everybody sleeping besides Bashir and you. Bashir, I will get into your new roommate situation that you're trying to hook up. But I will say for time's sake that Ivan, Rubik, and Bashir or Rask, you guys all get full rest.
Okay. I'm going to swap out my alchemy jug for my cloak of the mana ray.
Okay.
Rubik will also swap his smite for a. No, he won't swap his smites.
He wouldn't do that.
Rex doesn't have anything to swap, so.
I guess I should have said earlier, but whatever. Bashir would have attuned to the bag that Rubik gave him. Just so he can use it properly.
What did you say, Bashir? I'm sorry?
Bashir would have attuned to the bag that Rubik gave him, just to use it properly.
Oh, yeah. You got it. So you guys all get a good rest. But as you guys are all waking up, the ship's still in harbor. Bashir, I guess you're still going to take the captive down to the lower deck.
Yep.
While everybody else is waking up. So while you do that, you see Julius still standing guard.
Bashir will just kind of nod at her and greeting, just because I don't know, just felt like doing that. And as he approaches her, he'll sort of, I guess where he is right now, he'll kind of motion for her to come forward. He's fairly sure that Dev can hear him, but he wants to kind of give the illusion that he thinks that he can't. So I don't know if this would be deception or stealth or what.
It'd be a deception check.
Okay. Oh, I keep doing charisma stuff with Bashir. Why do I do that? Hey, good roll though.
That's what we do as humans.
Good roll, at least 17.
All right, Lady Julia will just walk over, and she's just kind of putting her shield behind her as if she's just kind of using it to block the sound. And you just hear Dev singing in the room, just like you just hear murmurs of his words. And she says, "Well, Master Bashir, is this the other captive you were speaking of before?"
Bashir's gonna spend some time thinking of his words because he's fairly certain that Dev, even though he's singing, can hear everything and is taking everything into account. So he's gonna look over to Julia and just sort of like quietly and very concisely, Bashir has this other prisoner that the captain wishes not to be held in the second most secure area of the ship. He has agreed to be civil, at least, during his tenure inside the cell with Dev. If anything at all happens between the two, conflict, Dev most likely killing this one since he's kind of looks at his missing leg, disabled. You were to come to me right away. And he kind of just thinks for a second. Not the Rubik, not the captain. Scratch. Me. Understood.
Of course, my lord. Julia quietly said, or she almost very loudly says that to kind of be like, well, duh. But then she quietly says, "Sorry, my lord. Of course, my lord. If anything was to happen, I would report to you. That's an obvious standard."
Good. This one so far, as he kind of looks at the prisoner, who he hasn't actually questioned, so this isn't incorrect. Bashir says, this one has yet to give us any useful information, but Bashir thinks that if given a threat or something, he might be useful on the seas. At the very least, he is good at shoveling dung. As he kind of looks at him.
And he kind of looks at you with a pathetic look as the one-legged, the once great buccaneer of the pirate group. I believe is the Blood Daggers. You can see now that he is nothing, and of course just a good dung shoveler. He kind of looks defeated as the Highlander kind of pushes him down in front of him and Julia and you, and he says, "Get in there. You'll be seeing your new roommate friend." As the Highlander's going to walk him closer to the door, and Julia's going to unlock the door. Dev, get back from the door.
Real quick, before he's inside the door, Bashir's just going to quickly lay a hand on him and sort of look up at him. Although, if he proves himself, and I don't know if the guy will get this with an insight check, but Bashir's kind of mentioning towards the conversation they had earlier. He's kind of like insinuating that, like, if you give me information, but his words are, if this one proves himself, he may be able to become a proper crew member and earn his freedom.
And he nods to you, and he looks to Julia and the Highlander. "I will prove myself. I'll prove myself to all of you." And the Highlander just laughs and shoves him in there. "Yeah, right. You're a bunch of scum. You'd slit my throat if you had the chance," and he's just going to shut the door. "Julia, lock it." And he's just going to wink at you, Bashir. "Good acting, right?" And he's going to start laughing as he's going to walk back and guard you.
The second he says that, Bashir's just going to give the motion across his neck, like, "Don't say it" type thing.
And Julia just face palms as he says that too. And Dev, as the door shuts and you hear it lock, you just hear Dev, "Oh my, hello there, friend. I am Dev, and I am your host for this evening, and for the rest of this voyage." You eventually hear banging from the pirate. "Please let me out! I don't want to do this anymore."
So, okay, before Dev I'm guessing after Dev says all of that, before he can do anything, Bashir is going to open the one hatch. I think you said there was a slot that was kind of eye level for Bashir.
Yep.
Like the food hatch or whatever it is. He'll open that up and sort of like look in towards Dev. Dev, do you know why this prisoner is here?
You see that the prisoner's face, like his eyes are blocking the thing so you can't see him, and he's staring right at you. "You gotta let me out of here. He's not a normal human. There's something wrong with this guy. You gotta look at his eyes."
Bashir just smile at the guy with like, In his mind, Bashir's like, you agree to this? And he's kind of looking at Dev. You do know what is... Do you know why this prisoner is here with you?
No, but I'm just excited to have a friend.
This prisoner is here so that you, technically a member of the crew, Bashir kind of like sighs halfway through that, can watch over him. We do not have the crew to spare to watch him 24/7, but this is a chance for you, Dev, to prove that you are able to not kill something. If this
I won't kill anything, but won't you be afraid if he kills your only one in Navigator? You truly going to leave a criminal, someone who tried to already kill us, with your one and only Navigator? And you only hear his voice because you can't see him because the prisoner's still
Right.
in the blind hole with his face, and you see he is scared and he's begging you, please, 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 don't leave me in here with him. He's something wrong with him. He's not a human.
the prisoner, I guess if the prisoner is the one looking through the slide, he'd actually see this instead of Dev, but Bashir will just very obviously roll his eyes at the comment. If the prisoner is hurt in any way other than... Well, if the prisoner is hurt in any way that is a detriment to how we need him, and that is something that Bashir will decide, not you, Dev.
You're very specific with how I do things. It's very odd, but of course...
That is your purposeful, Dev. Let me finish. If the prisoner is hurt in any way which is a detriment to the crew or myself, which I will determine, then you would be cast off the ship with your hands covered in iron.
You eventually hear silence for a moment, and you keep hearing the mutters of "Please, please, don't leave me in here. Please, don't leave me here." After a moment of time, you just hear Dev say, "Well, how could I treat my new roommate as that? Come here, roomie." And you eventually see that Dev walks over, and his eyes that are the prisoner's eyes that are super close are now slowly being dragged back. As you can see, Dev is dragging the guy back over to the corner over here. That is my door. See, this is your corner. This is my corner. I'll share the room. We have one blanket here that's covered in piss and blood. That's my favorite blanket, so we'll share that too.
Bashir's just going to look through this list still. Dev, do you understand this? I require confirmation so that you cannot feign ignorance later.
Yes, I understand it. He's my new best friend. Why would I even hurt him? I need him. He's my only friend I can talk to, since Julia doesn't talk to me, as he kind of gets upset about that. Julia, please, I know you're out there, and he's going to walk over to the door. Please talk to me. And he's just going to stick his little finger out the slot.
Bashir's just going to, again, roll his eyes at this and kind of sigh a little, as he just, like, slides the slide shut, kind of looks back to Highlander, and motions for him to follow him. As he starts to walk away a bit, he'll kind of look back at Julia. Please, do not let them kill each other.
Julia smiles. If they even try, I'll kill them first. She winks at you as if you know she won't kill them. She'll just make sure they don't do it.
Bashir's just going to, like, jokingly, he's just going to sigh and out loud say, Bashir guesses that is better than the alternative. And he'll sort of walk back, I guess kind of towards here, if that's about out of range of hearing from the cell at least. He doesn't care if Ivan or anybody else in the other rooms hears him. But he's just going to look back at the Highlander again. Not a word to the others. Bashir wishes this to be secret. Yes?
All right. I don't really much like secrets, but you say so, Quartermaster Bashir. My lips are sealed. And he looks up at Julia kind of nervously, and Julia nods to kind of give him approval that it's okay, like, that, you know, that
okay.
It's not something to be ashamed of. And he's nods his head for the greater, he just kind of says, mutters, for the greater good.
So I that's one reason I wanted to be, like, up here to get out of Julia's range of hearing, too.
Okay, then never mind. He won't then just forget the whole Julia thing then.
No, that's fine. I guess I wasn't clear. It's fine. And as soon as he says that, Bashir's just going to nod. And this whole time, he's had this, like, super serious, like, very, like, almost aggressive look on his face. And he'll just switch back to normal Bashir, and he'll start heading up towards the top deck of the ship to check on the boars.
All right. The Highlander following you. So the rest of you guys are waking up. Rask, you're waking up and you see that there are there's beds next to you. Don't worry, you're not sleeping with anybody. There's just beds next to you. Tink actually is in the bed next to you, and next to her is Balthazar. They're still asleep, but you wake up and you can see that the rest of the bunks, on your side, at least over here, are empty.
Okay. Rask is just gonna look at Tink and then just shake his head and sigh. He's gonna go wander around the ship because he doesn't know where the hell he is.
All right.
He also has a faint memory of being whispered to creepily, but he can't quite remember.
You have some sort of faint memory, but not 100% sure. So you just kind of stretch and get up, and you feel well rested and much better now. It's about, from what you could tell, just looking out the portholes of the side, you could tell that it's probably about 4 or 5 o'clock ish, near dinner time. Unfortunately, you guys didn't leave at the time you wanted to, but at least you guys are everything's said and done. And you're all well rested for the most part. It's very quiet on the ship, though. It's very relaxing. You just hear kind of the sounds of the water washing back and forth, waves. You hear seagulls kind of off in the distance, and just very peaceful it seems now.
Okay. Rask is, I guess, gonna walk around it, then he's gonna remember that he needs to head, since it's getting close to like time for food, he's gonna head up to the galley, the canteen area.
Okay.
And he's gonna check if anybody's working on preparing food.
All right. So
Rask
you're gonna go.
also doesn't have a title. Rask is the one person here that doesn't have a title.
So you're gonna wander up towards the kitchen area just to see if there's anything going on for food, since your stomach's a rumbling. You got enough rest, but you need some sustenance.
Because he's only
Rask is a big boy.
Rask hasn't eaten. Well, he ate on the Silver Scales.
Silver ship, yeah.
Briefly, but not very much. Oh,
Sorry.
Since he remembers that, he's actually gonna also So this is all below deck. There's no way he could peer out to see if the Silver Scales have left, right?
No, yeah, not down here. You couldn't. Maybe if you go up to the mid deck or the top deck, you could.
Yeah. Okay, then Rask is gonna head up to the mid deck first.
Okay. So you kind of look around the room really quick again, just glancing around as you're stretching, and you make your way up to the mid deck. Searching for the kitchen or any signs of a way to look out to see if the Silver Scales have left. So you're doing that right now. Ruben, you're waking up. You're stretching. You're getting out of the bed. You notice that you're in a very actually nice decorative room. There's a nice big grandfather clock. There's actually a giant. It looks like a giant reindeer head on the side of the wall. Nice little nightstand. A very comfortable bed. And you just kind of wake up and you're fully rested. You feel very, very relaxed, very comfortable. The exhaustion's gone. You're just hungry and could definitely use some ale.
You get out and stretch, scratch off some of the dried blood, and just go looking for some breakfast.
All right, the call of food is really echoing towards Rubik right now. So, Rubik, you start heading your way up towards the kitchen area as well to see if there's any food. Ivan, you hear some thudding of footsteps outside as you're also getting up and stretching as well.
Oh, I feel so much better. That is actually oddly comfortable. Way more so than I was expecting. I'm gonna get up and stretch a bit and kind of just like realize that I still have like my clothing and stuff on, and I'll kind of just like use my hand and smooth it out and
okay,
kind of fix my hair and everything, and I'll head towards. Ivan is also hungry, so he'd like to get food.
Yeah, your stomach's growling.
Yeah. So
it actually hurts how bad you guys are hungry. Like it's
right?
it's almost the reason why you guys woke up. You would have probably slept longer had it not been for your stomachs telling you need food.
I would have been a Faerun if a stomach would let me sleep.
So you wake up, you get up, and you can see Rubik is standing out in the hall, slowly walking towards the stairs as he's lifting up his armpit and he's kind of like smelling himself and itching off dry blood from his elbow.
Good morning, Rubik.
I elbow him out of the way.
Oh, wow.
As Ivan walks over to you, just kind of elbow him out of the way and start walking towards the stairs this way. And you make your way around the long way just to elbow Ivan, and then you go up the stairs.
All right. Well,
And Ivan heads this way, and he's gonna follow you up as he sees you kind of just begrudgingly walk upstairs.
are you that hungry? Well, good morning to you too. And I'll follow a few steps behind, in case he decides to swing back.
All right, so you kind of hang back, and you guys all head up towards the mess hall area. Bashir, you actually, as you're walking into the room area over here, you catch Ivan, just the tail end of Ivan walking up the stairs, talking to Rubik. It sounds like, as he's saying, "Are you really that hungry?" And the Highlander kind of laughs and he says, "You bone collectors are so mysterious. You sleep, eat, and kill. My kind of crew." And he smiles.
If Bashir's entering as he says this, Bashir will just sort of like look around to the group. What else is there necessary for a group such as ourselves?
And the Highlander smiles and says, I could agree to that, Quartermaster Bashir. I can agree to that." And the Highlander smiles. "Speaking of which, when are we having dinner? I'm hungry."
Bashir has plenty of raw meat in his new bag that his friend, as he kind of motions towards the room, I'm slipping in and out of the accent, sorry, as he sort of motions towards Rubik, and when he says friend, Bashir has some fresh meat in his bag that his friend has given him. And he kind of winks at Rubik, knowing that Rubik's probably the only other person who knows what the meat is.
Only response from Rubik.
The Highlander says, well, if you've got meat, that's not a bad option for me.
Bashir does not think that it would sit well in your stomach. I realize this is kind of whaley to ask, but what race is he?
He's a human.
He is human? Okay, yeah, I figured as much.
He's a variant human, yes.
Okay. Yes.
He'll just kind of just be like, "Oh, well, if it's not good meat for me, then I can understand why you are a dragon or lizard or something. So we probably have different tastes." He smiles, not to offend you in any way, shape, or form.
We got something a little more our speed upstairs, I'm sure.
And the Highlander smiles as you're like ahead of Bashir, and he says, "That's what I would like to hear. As long as we have food for the voyage." I was going to be nervous there for a moment as the Highlander kind of nervously kind of smiles and laughs at the joke, but also would be very upset if there was not enough food for the voyage because that's one of his favorite things to do. And I'm assuming we have ale, right?
Bashir.
That'd be a question for Rubik. And Bashir, I suppose.
Bashir made sure that all ale and other alcohol has been locked away. Mostly for one of the crew members who seems to be was inebriated when he offered to join, so Bashir would like to make sure that he can sober and properly give his consent to join.
Well, you should probably unlock that for tonight since we're victorious in our battle and we have the ship now. I mean, we should probably do some drinking tonight, am I right? As the Highlander waits for your either Lord Rubik and Lord Ivan's approval.
I could go for a drink.
You're just gonna look at Rubik.
Count! Bring up the ale!
As you shout for Count, you eventually hear Nab, aka the Count's voice from afar. Aye, Rubik!
She just thinks for 2 seconds, realizing that only Rubik and himself have actual keys to where the booze is. Bashir will help you in a moment. As he sort of calls out to him.
Alright, well you guys get up to the mid-deck and Bashir, you're going to go help Nab with getting the wine, and you guys head into the kitchen area and get comfortable. and you both sit down. Rask, you eventually make your way into the kitchen area as you kind of on the opposite end, on the opposite side. You can hear Rubik and Ivan on this side, but you slowly walk over underneath all the supplies, the shelves and such, and you make your way over. And it's a little cramped in certain areas of the kitchen, but you can see that the tables are very large and have enough room for many crew members. When you get over to the other side, you can see there's a table that's just as similar as the one on the other side. And you see Rubik and Ivan sitting there, very well rested. Still a little dirty, but well rested.
Rask is actually really happy to see Ivan, because he left when that conversation was happening.
Yeah, this is true.
So Rask
Do you
is
sit
gonna
down with
stick his
them?
mind. Yeah, Rask will
Okay.
sit down with them. He's actually gonna sit next to Ivan and
All right.
extend his hand.
I'll reach out and shake.
Rubik, you see this as well, so it's a little odd.
It's good to
Rask
see
is
you.
proud.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I mean, it's definitely not easy, but he didn't really offer me anything that I wasn't. I mean, the only thing he really offered me was money towards my goal, and I had money before, and I left that life. I wasn't appreciative of that. I enjoy you guys. You guys are my family.
Rask actually kind of smiles at that. Rask will count you as a brother then.
You've been a brother of mine for a while now, Rask, but I'm glad we count the same.
So now Rask is just gonna have his arm around Ivan and just like lean on him.
I welcome it. I'll lean out. I'm excited about it.
Fairly clean relative to you guys because he dove into the harbor to get over there.
All right.
Yeah. So.
I could use a shower, so I probably. Oh yeah, I definitely need a shower, and I can already smell you from over here, Rubik. But is that any different from usual?
Damn.
Yeah, we both say it. You say, "Is it any different from usual?" And I say, "Rubik always smells." Yeah.
I pick something up off the table, like not even looking, and like wrist flick it towards Ivan. Whatever's nearest to my hand. A plate, a cup, knife, fork, spoon. It doesn't matter.
Table.
The entire table. Rask is actually kind of curious because he didn't see, or we don't hear anything. Do we hear anything from the kitchen, like someone's working on preparing food, or?
No, but at that moment, as you guys, it's just kind of quiet after talking. You eventually hear someone whistling over in the other side of the kitchen area and on the other side of the mast, the rear mast. And you can hear someone, like almost the door open up, but you can hear a female's voice whistling, and just quietly, just kind of as if they're going to work. And you hear pots and pans starting to move around, and you hear some water being poured into a larger, what sounds to be a larger pot, and you can just kind of hear, "Whoops, don't want to spill any."
Do we recognize the voice?
Yeah, do we recognize
it sounds familiar, but it's not like a name. Like you're like that's somebody we know, but I don't know.
That's a female on the crew, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Rask is gonna look at Ivan and then look at the empty plates, and he's gonna get up and go help.
Do you want some more help? I've been known to cook a time or two. Well, at least for me, at least. I know we eat different sets of food.
As long as Bashir is not cooking.
You know what? I can agree with that. I'll get up and I'll push my chair back and begin to go over and cook. Or assist, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna go help whoever's cooking.
You don't like eggs with everything else?
We don't like eggs with eggshells in it. Scrambled eggs with eggshells, yes, of course.
Gives you calcium. Gives you calcium, yeah.
I mean, Rask is fine with it, but he was not expecting it because he's been used to more
right.
human-esque food.
Ooh, eggs! Ooh, crunchy eggs.
Crunchy eggs. But yeah, Rask is gonna walk over to help whoever it is that started working in the kitchen.
Yeah, same.
And
All
we're,
right. So
we're leaving because Rubik threw stuff at Ivan, I guess.
All right. So you guys get up and you start heading over, and you see that it is one of the new recruits that you guys recruited. It is the Merfolk.
It's the Triton.
Triton, yes.
Yeah.
You see that she's actually busy at work, and you can see she's already has she actually has her own cookbook and is preparing. Is looking like she's already has like something that she's preparing. She notices you two behind her. Oh, hello there. I didn't know you were already up. I thought you would be sleeping for even longer. All of you look so exhausted.
Well, I would be sleeping longer, but and I'll kind of just like put my hand to my stomach. It's getting that time. Do you need any help?
No, I insist.
Sorry.
In fact, I prefer to cook alone. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's almost a challenge. She smiles.
Are you sure? I mean, we're more than happy to help.
I insist. Please relax and sit. In fact, here, and she's going to offer. She's basically going to hand you, a loaf of bread, each a loaf of bread, and a small little jar of butter and jam. Go and enjoy this to snack on until everything is done. I am making a very hot stew tonight.
We have one more at the table. Well, you have one more.
One more loaf.
And she says, of course, if there's one thing the ship has, it's an abundance of bread. And she's going to hand you another loaf of bread.
All right, I'll take it. Well then, Rask, let's have a little bit while we wait for the rest then.
Rask is gonna carry the rest of, like, I guess you have the 3 loaves of bread, and Rask is gonna carry the condiments and stuff over. But Rask realizes that he hasn't checked if the silver scales have left. So he's
you got really comfortable, and we're just very glad that Ivan was still there. Rubik's okay. You're just kind of happy. So, but you do notice there's a giant stained glass window at the corner here near the oven.
Yeah. Okay. Rask is, I guess, on the way there. He's just gonna glance out and check if he can see the smaller ship.
All right. You glance out and you actually see Coraline. She smiles and she says, "That window actually can open here." And she's going to step forward and show you actually how it works, the mechanism. It's like a weight mechanism inside the ship itself, inside the wall of the ship. And she's going to show you. See, it's quite easy and it's very secure. Only people from the inside can open it.
Rask is slightly confused, but then he's like, "Oh, okay, that's really interesting." Is the Triton shorter than him?
Oh, yes, much shorter. She's only 4'8".
Okay, Rask is gonna duck, to be closer to her level, but he's just gonna nod. Rask, thanks you.
She smiles. Of course, Master Rask.
Your name was
Coraline.
Coraline.
I do not have a last name. I do not know where my family is from.
Rask will not remember this. Rask is sorry.
she kind of giggles and tries not to laugh in front of a lord of the bone collectors. Forgive me, I do not mean to disrespect. My name is not easily remembered, so it is okay. She smiles at you. Please sit. I will get the food ready. You are probably very hungry. You need your rest.
Rask needs to check something first.
Oh, of course she bows.
Head out of the window.
All right, roll me a perception check. And as soon as you do, you peer your head out the window, you actually scare some seagulls off the little edge of the window sill near there. But one comes back and just lands right on your head, kind of, just to nonchalantly, as if they're not afraid of you.
We're not afraid of you.
You just kind of hear mine.
That's 21.
You look around the bay to see if there's any sign of the silver scale ship. And from what you could tell, their smaller galley ship is gone. From where you did last see them, they are gone.
Okay. Rask
your ship seems to be the only large ship besides the other fishing vessels.
All right. Rask is going to look up at the seagull kind of comically, and then flick it.
Okay.
And pull back in. Yeah.
Some feathers kind of fly in and outside of the window as you close it, and you use the device. It's actually quite easy as the window shuts and seals, and then you just kind of lower the latch back as it locks.
Rask is going to fiddle with it a little bit because he wants to kind of figure out how it works.
All right, so you're just kind of messing with it, opening it and closing it, messing with the lock. spinning it around, it's kind of making some noises, and you can see that Coraline is laughing at you it's almost like a cat messing with something, and she's laughing as she's kind of has her own little show to watch as she's cooking.
Really big, like hulking guy.
Yeah.
Weirdly translucent lizard just messing with a tiny latch and some mechanisms.
So you continue to play with the window. Rubik and Ivan are enjoying some delicious breads, jams, and butters, and
Count more.
Bashir
ale.
and Bashir is going to go get the ale with the Count, aka Nab. Jack,
Okay.
you arrive back at. Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, if Rubik is yelling at Count for more ale, Rask is actually gonna fish out his flask and like chuck it at Rubik's head.
Roll me a dex check to throw it at his head.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Catch it in my mouth.
You see that it doesn't hit Rubik in the back of the head, but it actually almost hits him, and it hits the table. You can see it knocks down an empty pitcher of water where a jug of water would be, or a jug of wine. And as it hits it just kind of makes a loud noise, and it's now in front of Ivan. And you can see that any closer would have hit Rubik right in the back of the head.
Ooh.
Rubik, you see
got what you asked
this,
for.
and Rubik, you see this flask in front of you. As you could tell, it was Rask's flask. Goink. Without hesitation, Rubik picks it up as you say this, Ivan, and you see Rubik is chugging it. As a little bit is dripping down his beard and kind of like just running down just a little bit. And you actually see his one hand catches it, as you can see, goes into his palm, and he slurps that up too.
It's actually the dwarven whiskey.
I throw it back.
Oh God. Did you remember to cap it? Shit.
No, it's empty.
Okay, that was real fast. All right.
Yeah, Rubik destroys your flask as he's now a little satisfied, and he lets out a little burp.
Yeah. So Rask is going to catch that, and then he's just gonna like turn it around, like turn it upside down and shake it a little bit. He's like,
You hear a hollow, empty, like.
Rask is amused, but he also made sure to have like an actual bottle with him, like he brought it with him. So
Okay.
So he's just gonna recap it and then go back to fiddling with the window mechanism.
All right, so you go back to doing that, Jack. As I said before, you arrive back at the ship. You're at the gangplank though, and you can see that you've traded in your silver. A couple fishermen are just kind of staring at you. So are some of the villagers. And thank you for the raid, Scarlet. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate
Yes,
the listens
Welcome,
for Round Stump.
everyone.
Oh no, Scarlet is DMing actually now, and she
Ooh.
almost TPK'd them.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
Look,
Well, I mean, that's not going to happen to you guys. Wink, wink.
That's what keeps it interesting.
I mean,
Don't
if you
worry
just
about it.
capsize the boat, is that the equivalent of rocks fall and everyone dies?
Pretty much.
Boulders fall.
Just we'll Titanic this eventually.
water
Wait,
spouts
who's Jack
open,
and
everyone
who's-
dies.
Right.
Oh, is it Jack then? Actually,
Jack will be Jack and Scritch will be Rose.
Sharks are dangerous. We had sharks in our previous session clean up for us.
They eat.
I think they're still
They do
there,
eat
aren't they?
people. All right. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt
Oh.
again.
No, that was awesome. Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate everybody joining us and being a part of the story. As I was saying, so you, Jack, you're still staying outside the gangplank. Is there anything else you want to do before you board the ship? Now that you have all your money.
No, nothing particular I want to do. I guess I'll just join up with everyone else.
All right. When you get on the ship, do you want to go see Scritch, or do you want to just go explore the ship itself?
I'll just go explore the ship a little bit. Since I
Okay.
haven't had much time on it.
Okay, awesome. So you're gonna head out there and just kind of look around the ship, see what you can find, since you've kind of only been going with Scritch and wherever he decides to go as the captain of the ship itself. So you take a good look, see around. Do you want to just stay on the top deck? Do you want to go mid, or do you want to go below?
I'll go mid.
Okay. That's actually
spilled enough blood on the top side. So.
all right. That's actually a good choice because that's where the rest of your group is, and you will actually be meeting up with them. As you open the door, you actually see Ivan and Rubik sitting at a table eating some delicious-looking jam and buttered bread. Something also smells delicious in the kitchen, and you can hear noises going on from the other side of the kitchen. What sounds to be cookware and pottery, or in like pots and pans, and it seems to also be slight sounds of someone playing with a stained glass window. And so actually, right behind you, after a moment of time, you actually see Bashir and Nab appear, and they have brought ale with them, or the Count. I know some refer to him as the Count.
Oh, yeah, he's great as the Count.
Yeah.
It seems we have everybody. Good morning, all.
Has anyone seen the captain?
Scritch, no. I mean, last I knew, we took him to his captain's quarters, and then he got all huffy and puffy.
That was the last place Bashir saw him as well. Bashir is not quite certain what he's doing in the captain quarters with no furniture at all, but Bashir will not judge.
He'll be out soon if there's no food.
He did also roll out his bedroll before I left last night, or this afternoon.
Yeah, Bashir must not have seen it.
Well, we just need to do a head count before we head off. I mean, he might be out causing some ruckus, but I'm gonna eat first. Is that all you have to say this morning, Rubik? Just and drinks.
As the Count is going to hand you over a small keg of ale, Master Rubik. And
is it just completely gone again?
As you can see, Rubik is downing ale from this small keg. Nab is trying to wait to fill up his cup, and you see he's still just waiting as Rubik just keeps drinking and then just standing in front of the keg, filling it up, and then drinking, filling it up. And Nab's waiting for his turn, but Rubik's just not sharing.
I turn to Nab and get your own.
He looks at you, Mr. Bashir, we only brought one keg.
Bashir told you when we were leaving the room that the keg was for Rubik. The rest will have to wait for a quick sec while we get more.
But Nab wants beer. Nab wants ale.
And Nab will
drink.
Nab will get ale. Nab will get to drink. Has Nab done that? Has Nab never seen a dwarf drink? As he kind of motions towards Rubik.
Looks over at Rubik again, who's about halfway done with the keg, and just lets out a huge burp. And Nab looks over.
Oh God!
Thank you, Bashir. Or thank you, Rubik. He looks back at you, Bashir, and he's just gonna put his mug down as he's lost this battle. He's not even gonna say anything.
Bashir has
and as the mighty team screams over his kill, Rubik burps over the half-drinking keg.
Rask is gonna come over here at this point and just like shove his flask underneath to fill it.
You fill up your flask again of what Rubik took from you last time, and Rubik, you see this. Do you want to do anything, or do you just accept it since you drank what was left of it before?
Rubik breathes heavy while he fills his flask, so I can continue drinking without breath.
Gotta be efficient.
Rask will gesture for Nab to come over, and then he'll pour him half of the flask.
All right, Nab will sit down. He sits down right next between you and Jack, and he feels a part of the crew now. You see a big smile on his face. He holds his mug out as you pour half of it in there. He gives it a good sniff, and he's just holding it, almost like a cup of hot cocoa, and like someone's just like kind of just super excited. And he's just gonna sip it. He's gonna nurse it because he doesn't know if this is gonna be his last drink or if there's gonna be any more to be had. So he's just gonna enjoy the moment while he can, and just sip on it for a little bit and enjoy the company that he has. While the rest of you are sitting around, you know that it's pretty late in the day, though. It's not morning anymore. It's about 6 or 7 at night. It's getting close to dinner time.
So what's our plans for heading out then?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you'd like to discuss your plan, now is the time.
If Ivan's going to just like outright ask everyone, Bashir will just kind of look over as he's about to leave to get more booze, Bashir would like a couple more hours to acquire some items and livestock for the trip overseas, at least to make sure that we not run out of food and supplies.
Hell.
Well, at this point, we might as well wait till daybreak. I know we said that yesterday, but no more stalling. We must leave.
Do we know where to go? What route to take?
You've spoken with Devmore. And I'll look towards Bashir.
Bashir's kind of looking at Rask as he mentions, like, do we know where we're going? Bashir's just kind of quietly, internally realizes, I have no idea where we're going. And I'll kind of look over at Rask. We are going across the sea. Yes, Dev knows how to do so, I believe.
Where across the sea?
Is there more than one place across the sea?
We given any information from Vulcan in that letter we got?
Rask is gonna look at Rubik as he's still drinking, probably.
Rubik only needs one hand to drink. He pulls the letter out from his pocket with the other.
Is it also soaked in blood at this point?
It's the ink is black. It's no concern of yours.
Blood makes ink hard to read.
It's black on brown. Don't worry about it.
Just gonna wait then.
Rubik side eyes it with one eye as he continues to drink.
Nab looks to you all and says, should I go get Dev?
No.
No. Rubik stops drinking.
You would ruin our good time.
No, I did not think Dev would. Dev sounds like fun.
She's just gonna
He's
look
the
at
traitor.
him.
Tie him up, throw him in this hell.
We're all just gonna turn and look at him.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bashir, and everyone's probably gonna look right at him like, really?
He's gonna slide his seat a little. Is Dev not good friend? You said Dev is navigator. Dev is good friend, right?
Dev is a navigator because the situation calls for it.
You made Nab very confused. The Count is now thinking very hard.
We need him. Have no other option.
Don't say that to him.
Nab puts a finger to his mouth as if he's going to kind of like a shushing emotion or kind of like a gesture, and he's going to nod as he understands what you mean.
Dev might be smart enough to have figured that out on his own already. He's not an idiot, but he's sure is annoying.
He's not.
Murdering evil bastard.
I don't think he's an idiot. He's calculated those lies, that's for sure. I've seen a lot of that growing up. Royalty will do that.
Rask did not know that you were royalty.
Well, it's not a life that I wanted, or... I mean, obviously I was just offered it back again, and I denied it. Not the life that I wanted for myself. But other things lead me on the path that I choose, but that might be for another time. But yes, I was a Prince of Leon, if you've ever heard of the kingdom.
Grieven.
I mean, somewhat near about. How far away would Leon be from Grieven?
Leon from Grieven would be only less than a month's travel on foot.
So Rask knows about it, but he's never been there.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a place where we value alchemy and science more so than physical prowess.
Rask just side eyes Ivan.
Well, just telling you how our society is. Nothing against you, as you clearly are one of my best friends.
Brother.
Laying that. Exactly.
But yeah, Rask is just gonna return to stuffing his mouth with bread.
Yeah. Still waiting for the food to get here.
All right. Is there anything else you guys would like to discuss?
So does it tell us where we need to go, Rubik?
North.
Just that vague direction. North, you find your way.
All right.
There's demons. We find the demons. We kill them. We find the lost bone collectors, and if not, we collect demons. Kill them.
But we collect bones.
Demons normally turn to ash. We're not the ash collectors. We're the bone collectors. So we
don't collect demons then.
No, we kill demons.
Nab is super confused as he's trying to keep up with your guys' conversation.
It's okay.
Do you know how to count to 0 and 1?
What?
Have you ever heard of the structure of binary?
Oh God.
No. What is?
Rask gonna get up at this point and like.
Are we gonna teach Nab how to make a supercomputer?
Oh God. No, Rask is gonna go get the rest of the crew probably for dinner.
Okay.
He's gonna go wander around so he knows a
up
little bit more as well.
else.
Yeah. Probably top deck first.
All right, so you're gonna head up towards the top deck, and with that, we will actually end there for tonight.
All right.
So thank you all for listening into tonight's session of the Journey of the Bone Collectors. I am your Dungeon Master Wolfgang for tonight. Thank you all for listening in. I would like everyone to stay for a little bit longer and at least just cast your vote on your favorite 2 players. They could be your favorite players who made you laugh, your favorite players who did the best role playing. Even if you were only here for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour to an hour, the whole session, it means a lot to them. They get extra experience, and it just shows their dedication and the time and efforts they put into their character and the role playing and having a good time about the game itself. So we appreciate it, and I will let the streamers take over from here and say their goodbyes. And then we will. I will, before we do leave you fully, I will announce the winners. So please get your votes in.
Yes, please do vote. The commands are in chat. We do this every Sunday, starting at 6 p.m. CST, which means it slightly overlaps with. Well, actually, it overlaps a lot with Scarlet's, but hopefully, we'll see you guys at some point. You guys are always welcome to come listen. I also do another tabletop game on Thursday for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, one of the adventure paths with a different group of people. If you're interested in tabletops in general and you like this sort of content, please do come hang out. But we're gonna just ask you guys to vote if you enjoyed anything at all, anything found interesting. Yeah, also today we got new tokens because I finished them.
Yeah, they look so good too, Red.
Yes, everybody praise Kuuretsu. She did very well.
No,
That's for Retsu.
they are
Headbats.
still slightly hard to see, I think, because it's not white background.
They look pretty good, honestly.
I like them when they're close up, that they don't have a white background, but if they want to be seen, it's probably white background is better.
Yeah.
Players, don't forget to get your votes in as well.
Oh, right. I should probably do that. You done with your spiel, Kuuretsu? I don't want to jump in the middle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. For those of you who are curious, I am Carnes on the Discord. Everyone's kind of attribute me to Carnes in the Discord because this is my name in the Round Stump. I kind of stuck. But I am Lord Kirov everywhere else. I do the archive for this stream, for those of you who don't know. And that's just so that anybody who wants to look past, at least as far as I've been part of the group, and kind of
catch up with stuff that they don't understand, like what we're referencing to or something like that, you can go and check that out. I stream Monday nights at 6:30 p.m. EST, Minecraft Mondays, which is my most relaxed stream that I kind of do with my old friend VMK89. Tuesdays, I'm actually on Namus Wins, one of the other streamers in the Round Stump group. I'm on his channel as a player for our Tuesday D&D group, and that's a very homebrewed game, but it's very interesting, very fun, heavy combat when we get into it. Wednesdays, don't have anything going on. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Thursdays are done. Fridays, I'm actually hoping to start my own D&D campaign where I'm going to be DMing it myself. We've had our one-shot going last week and this upcoming week. Those won't be streamed, especially this next week, but the campaign will be, if everybody agrees to. And let's see, Saturday, I do Sakura Saturdays, where I just play through a lot of the Sakura visual novel games and kind of stretch my voice acting to do random voices for all the people in those games. It's an excuse for me to play visual novels. That's pretty much all it is. And then obviously tonight I do the archives for this round all the way around the week for that. I've had a decent amount to drink, so I apologize if I'm rambling.
No worries. If anything, just to shorten it up, you could always go to his page or his Twitch.
I've got it on the Twitch. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, he can find out all his information on his Twitch. He does a good job of setting it up and getting all the information out there. So, but yeah, get your votes in now, guys. I think I just need one from Rubik and Kuuretsu. I need your vote as well.
I'm gonna go ahead and close the chat vote.
Excellent, thank you, Retsu.
So we have one vote for Rask, one vote for Ivan.
Awesome. Right. Thank you very much for whoever voted. Greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to everybody here.
Yes, we really do.
I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap up. Going to go raid first. If you guys are curious about the results, I can put them in Discord, but otherwise this is just going to be taking care of.
Are those the only two votes, Rask?
Yeah, those are the only two.
Okay. Well, then I was going to say first place. Actually, it's a tie for first place. You and Ivan, Rask and Ivan are first place, and Rubik is in second place.
Nice. Thank you, everybody. Awesome.
Did we become best friends?
Yeah. So congratulations to you guys, and congratulations to Rubik, and thank you all for listening.
Yeah. Yes, Rubik is best.
Uh-huh.
Second
all right,
best.
We're going to go raid. We have a couple of choices. We can raid my friend Poppy Fubar, who's playing Minecraft, and he's very loud. We can raid my friend Skinny Cheeks, who's playing Elder Scrolls Online. He's less loud, but he's also probably not going to be as active with the chat, because they're doing some, like, Godslayer progression stuff. Sure, let's go to Skinny Cheeks. I haven't raided him in a while. But if you guys are interested, come hang out. My schedule is down below. We will be picking up with Remnant on Monday or tomorrow. Tuesday is Divinity Original Sin with Stop Hitting Me.